Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma.
This hour is brought to you by Goldberg and Jones.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Ewart is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to accuse you of murder.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Ewart and Mike Salk.
Yes, hello. Good morning. Hi, everybody. It is the Brock and Salk Show here on Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com, the Seattle Sports application on a formal Friday, all the podcast platforms, Maura, and let's not forget YouTube and 97.3 HD2. Let's looking at some of the YouTube numbers.
Let me just note real quick. Apparently, we were not on all of them yesterday. We were not on Apple, but that is not an us issue. That's an Apple issue.
We weren't on Apple?
No. I was getting messages on Twitter.
Do you not know that we're supposed to be on Apple?
I do.
Maura,
So,
we're supposed to be on Apple.
Apparently, this has happened once before. It's something where I was told they'd have to clear a cache or something. We're gonna reach out.
They're gonna clear a cache?
Yeah.
All right.
So, but we were on Spotify, our regular podcast
Well, this is
page
unacceptable.
and the app if you are looking for that, and hopefully we'll get Apple to fix that today.
Totally unacceptable. But you know what this is going to lead to? Some like low Apple podcast reviews when this is all said and done. Good show when it's actually posted.
You know, the athletes always say like you can only control what's within your control. We're doing our best. It's out of our control. Please don't lower our podcast rate.
I assume all of the responses alerting you were polite and just being helpful.
Yes. I got a message that said, so we're just not posting the podcast to Apple anymore?
Well, that's not polite.
Not like, hey, Maura.
I just love
Seems like something weird's going on here.
I love the idea that, like, hey, I listen to this show every day, so much so that when it's not in my inbox, I feel compelled to tell someone about it, which makes sense. But when I do tell them, I'm going to be incredibly rude to the person that is actually responsible. Or not, in this case, not even responsible, that I think is responsible. Whatever. You know what?
I'm just glad they like it so
Sometimes blaming people that aren't really responsible, Maura, is just helpful. Sometimes it's helpful to blame people that aren't really responsible. I get it. Like, I understand where that comes from.
Some sort of correlation here?
No, I'm just saying, like, when you're looking to find blame, in this case, for a podcast that is not posted appropriately, sometimes you lash out. Look, is it Bonneville's fault? No. Is it Brock's fault? Obviously not. Nobody would ever blame Brock. He's a local hero. You can't blame Brock. Brock would never do that. Brock is Brock Ewart. Like, if they were to make the 50 greatest Washingtonian athletes of all time, don't you think Brock would be right near the top of the list, inner circle? Like, top of the top? You can't blame Brock. I mean, look, he only works here 4 days a week, and he doesn't show up for the first hour of every show, but you would never blame Brock.
Actually,
never.
This tweet that said, so we're just not uploading our content to the Apple Podcast, you and Brock were also tagged in.
Oh. Well, you could mention us, but you're the one who's obviously going to take the fall on something like this. You're not going to blame a local hero. You're not going to blame, the person who, actually, works on the show. You blame Maura. Third in charge. When in doubt, that's the direction that I would go, for sure. So, yes, thank you, everybody, for throwing the blame Maura's way this morning. Weird day. The good news, we'll start there, because I haven't been talking about sports yet. The good news is that the Seahawks start training camp today. Like, really start it. Not like you got a couple rookies in their, miniature rookie class that they've got this year, but like everybody's there. Yeah. We got like actual football camp. We've got preseason games not that far away. We got one-on-one drill. More, it's not going to be long before we got one-on-one pass rush drills and pads.
Oh, I mean, padded practices are what we really wait for.
You still got a few days.
Yeah, those one-on-one. I mean, what was it? Who did we watch?
who got lifted up last year.
Was it by Abe Lucas?
I think so. I forget. It might have been, I don't know. You know what? Asking me to remember what happened 2 days ago, let alone last year, please. But I can't wait. I think you're going out there tomorrow. Is that your plan?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going Sunday. Avery, I'm going to take Avery with me, I think. We're going to go over there on Sunday and watch a little of Seahawks and be ready to come in and comment when we get here. Like, dude, this is so exciting. Team that won a Super Bowl last year, getting back in action. We haven't seen that here in 12 years. It's awesome. It's just such a cool experience, and I'm sure the scene down there will be buzzing in a way that it hasn't in quite some time. So that's awesome. Everybody wants to be around a winner. Everybody wants to get a piece of a winner. The Seahawks are exactly that. So really looking forward to that starting today. And, what will hopefully be this opportunity to run it forward and defend an incredible, incredible experience from last year. And I'm going to keep coming back to what, we heard the other day from Daniel Jeremiah, which is this is supposed to be the beginning, not the end. They're not old and decrepit and falling apart. No. They didn't lose a lot of guys. No. They should be getting better. They were at the very beginning, if not even before the beginning of their window. So, yeah, it's awesome. And Hard Knocks going to be there. You got HBO hanging. Like, the whole thing is just cool. So, yeah, very, very, let's go. Let's just go. That's all the good news. The bad news. Yeah, look, I don't know what to tell you guys about. I don't know what to tell you about firing the assistant hitting coach. I don't know what to tell you about that. Maybe there's a good reason, and I've tried to come up today with some ideas as for why you would do that. I don't think Bobby Magallanes was the problem. He was the assistant hitting coach who the Mariners let go yesterday. You don't think Bobby Magallanes was the problem. The Mariners hitters don't think Bobby Magallanes was the problem. I'm willing to bet that Dan Wilson does not think Bobby Magallanes was the problem, that Justin Hollander does not think Bobby Magallanes was the problem, or that Jerry DiPoto or anybody else in that organization truly believed that Bobby Magallanes was the problem. It doesn't make any sense. Hey, my team's not hitting. Oh, you know who must be to blame here would be the third guy in charge of the hitting. Look, you guys know how I feel about hitting coaches anyway. I don't think the top hitting coach has much to do with how successful the team is. I think it's a position that doesn't have a lot of relevance. Yeah, maybe more than it did a couple of years ago. Right? There's a lot of translation of information that I do think is relevant and important. And okay, maybe 10 years ago, all those guys were flipping, soft toss in the cage. It's gone a little bit differently in that. But they're not fixing everybody's swing. Everybody's got their own hitting coach. They got their own personal guy, their swing coach. So, I don't know. Nobody could possibly think that Bobby Magallanes was the problem. And I don't think that's what they would say. I think if Jerry were to speak openly and honestly about it, he would say, no, of course Bobby Magallanes isn't the problem. But you got to fire some sort of a warning shot across the bow. You've got to let everybody know that with 60 games left, you got to have some urgency here, right? Go time. By the way, less than 60. Go time. You don't get to just keep doing it forever. As much as we talk about process, the results eventually have to be there. But Kevin Seitzer and Bobby Magallanes are really close. Seitzer is the one who brought him over from Atlanta with him when they hired Seitzer. And by all accounts, very popular in the clubhouse with the players. Was born in Mexico while his dad played in the Mexican League, and then played on and off in Mexico for years. I would assume knows a lot of Spanish, and that was a part of his charm. Well, there already feels like there's some level of tension in that regard here on this team based on the World Baseball Classic. So that's just a little thing to watch. And then he sure seemed to be friendly with a lot of the broadcasters and people in the media. I can't tell you how many times I would hear Angie or Brad or anybody, even Adam Jude, people like that, who mention a conversation that they had with Bobby Magallanes. So obviously he was pretty friendly and willing to talk. Maybe that was the problem. I don't know. But he is the unfortunate victim of a team that's not hitting up to its potential. We all know that. Eventually you have to do something, and it's a lot easier to fire Bobby Magallanes than it is to, bench Cal Raleigh for a month, because you're not going to do that. So I don't like it. I don't think anybody likes it. I'd be willing to bet the people inside the building don't like it. This seemed like the absolute bare minimum they could do to show that there was a sense of urgency without actually, doing anything. Hey, guys, we need you to hit. What are you going to do? As little as we can, because we don't want to mess the apple cart up too much, but we want to try. I don't know. I don't get it. See, that's not nice. 509 says, damn, I can barely stomach listening to Salk. I can't imagine looking at him for 4 hours. Yuck. Hey, how dare you? I look good on YouTube. That's kind of my thing. It's nice. I'm shrouded mostly in darkness. Yeah. No, that's where I look best. I'm shrouded mostly in darkness. So you just see like a little of me. It's really not that bad. And by the way, some of the YouTube numbers have been down recently. I don't love that. Come on, guys. I'm sure it's just summer and everybody's away and all that. But come on. Get over to YouTube. You can watch the whole show there every day. You can watch it live. You can go back and watch it later. You can watch clips, the whole thing. And we'll talk more about this Bobby Magallanes thing. It's frustrating, obviously. And I would imagine, and by the way, this is the family trip. So firing a guy right before the family trip, it's a tough look. It's a tough look. And I don't know how to defend it other than that I'm not trying to defend it. Trying to look on the other side of it because it seems so obviously ridiculous to most people. Like, okay, do I think that it's because he's a bad guy? No, obviously not. But maybe there is some issue where they're just trying to let the team know, hey, go time, urgency. But you feel bad for Bobby Magallanes and his family and everybody else because don't think he was necessarily the problem.
Seattle Sports, home of Bumpin' Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
Safety Nick and Manwari on PUP to begin training camp. One thing I want to say about preseason PUP is it is not the PUP list to miss time during the season.
It could be something real simple. And they're like, all right, he's already in good shape. He's been to all of our stuff. It's not like he's going to get lots of reps during the preseason games. I'm hoping it's just being really, really cautious when it comes to Nick and Manwari.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
We share our used cars. So our used cars are open trade between any store. So the sales managers don't have a problem in saying, yes, that car's available. And then that person from Seattle can come to Kirkland, pick the car up and sell it. It's what's best for the customer at the end of the day.
The LJ way.
If the customer wants to be met in Seattle, then let's figure out how to get that car from Kirkland to Seattle so that customer can come in there and transact. When you're all one team and you've got a great relationship, the other team comes over and helps that team, and then you as the customer don't see any difference in that experience. You're still getting the same service that you want and expect.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Inflation's up, insurance rates are up, so here's my question for you. Why are so many people still paying more than they have to?
Exactly. I took the First Mark Challenge, and it saved me thousands. Brock did it too.
Sure did. They compared my insurance with dozens of top-rated companies, found me better coverage, and I saved thousands. And the best part? It didn't cost me a penny.
That's what I love. First Mark works for you, not just one insurance company. They shop the big carriers to see if they can find you a better value.
And if they can, great. If they can't, you're out exactly nothing. No cost, no obligation. So honestly, why wouldn't you find out?
Plus, Firstmark has world-class customer service. When you need help, you pick up the phone, you're talking to local, real people who actually know you, know your policy, not an 800 number halfway across the country.
More than 11,000 clients have already taken the Firstmark Challenge.
You could be the next.
Before you renew, let Firstmark review.
Go to firstmarkinsurance.com. Take the Firstmark Challenge today. You could be saving money with better coverage starting tomorrow.
Firstmarkinsurance.com.
Okay, all signed up. Easy. Now let's run payroll. What the? Hey, girl. I'm you with more gusto. Nice. Who's that? New social media manager. Hired and onboarded with gusto. And spoiler, we're kind of famous now. Wait, we're famous? Oh, well, I'm famous. Payroll, benefits, and HR. Designed and built for small businesses. Choose a future with gusto.
Progressive knows there's no one more important to your team than your pet. They're like your top draft pick.
And it looks like Chuck has selected Pepper the Corgi. Bold pick there, Deborah.
Yeah, Rich, Pepper has a high ceiling for sure, but he does have a tendency to bark at every tree.
Yeah, he brings a lot to the table, but also takes a lot off of it, especially when it's been left near the edge.
Nothing left to do now but suit him up for the dog park.
Protect your top draft pick from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates a third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms.
Mariners and Rangers tonight in Texas. 5:05 first pitch, 4 o'clock pregame. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
This hour is brought to you by Goldberg and Jones.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
All right, let's go. Training camp starts today. Seahawks veterans reporting for duty in Renton. Hopefully not much drama. Getting ready for a training camp unlike any other. They'll be defending champs. HBO is going to be there, taking in every moment, going deep behind the scenes. Should be a blast. And I'm sure Hard Knocks will be all over the Devin Witherspoon negotiations. Here's Ian Rappaport with the latest.
My understanding is the Seahawks and Witherspoon have been in intense negotiations for the last several months on a deal that will almost certainly make him the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. Previously, or currently I should say, it's $31 million per year in new money. $32 million per year would be the new benchmark for Devin Witherspoon. Would be very surprised if a deal doesn't end up around there for the Seahawks star. Really just a matter of the two sides agreeing on a number and getting this deal done. The Seahawks have made an extraordinary effort to try to make this happen. We will see if Witherspoon ends up accepting, and if the two sides end up coming together and solidifying this
deal.
That
would sort of fit with what DJ said the other day, that they would make him the highest paid, and then Christian Gonzalez would get paid even more just a few weeks after that. We'll also be checking on the health of Zach Charbonnet, and it sounds like there's some good news there as well. Here's Mike Garafolo.
Everybody that I've talked to says that this rehab is going extremely well. You look at the timeline, right? In January, you start to think, a lot of times these tend to be close to a calendar year. Well, that's not going to work if he's going to play in the regular season. And they're not pushing him too hard. But being on the physically unable to perform list, which we did expect, potentially leaves him out through the first 4 weeks of the season. You stay on that, and then you come back anytime after that. And I don't think it's going to be far beyond that if that winds up being the case for him. And plus, he can even start practicing before that 4-week window is up as well.
Well, that would be unbelievable news. I mean, I sort of thought he was going to be on the Riley Mills timeline where maybe we wouldn't see him until very late in the year. You get Zach Charbonnet back, you might go 8-9 instead of 7-10. I mean, that could really be a huge lift. Just ask Bucky Brooks about that.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, Mariners set out on what really is their most important road trip of the year so far. Now they've put even a bigger spotlight on it. 4 in Texas, Rangers leading the division. 3 at Dodger Stadium after that. It's going to take them basically to the trade deadline. So last trip where they get to prove that they deserve further investment. We'll get to more on that in a moment. Pitching matchups. Friday, Bryce Miller. That's tonight. Friday, Bryce Miller and Mackenzie Gore. Tomorrow, Brian Wu and Nathan Eovaldi. Sunday, Logan Gilbert and Jacob deGrom. And then Monday will be Kirby and Rocker. So, really good on good pitching matchups here in the series. Now, we also know off days can be action days, and it's true yesterday. Mariners firing assistant hitting coach Bobby Magallanes, who worked under Edgar and under Kevin Seitzer. I don't think anyone would imagine that the offensive underachievement is his fault, but maybe it sends some kind of a message that wakes everybody up, as we talked about yesterday. Here's Adam Jude.
I don't think it'd be a popular move inside the clubhouse. Again, I hadn't heard of any particular incidents, and everything the guys I've talked to over the last year and a half working with Bobby Magallanes is that he's well-liked and well-respected guy. So, yeah, to your point, I think when players aren't performing up to their expectations, they're going to feel responsible. Well, obviously, Bobby wasn't the guy stepping in the batter's box and trying to hit.
I mean, yeah, he wasn't even the guy in charge of the hitting or under the guy who's in charge of the hitting. He was literally third in charge in the hitting department. So I know that they split up a lot of those duties, and some of that is just nomenclature, but it's a tough look. It's a tough look today.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
Meanwhile, 11 days before the trade deadline, and the Mariners are all over the place, at least being mentioned in a lot of potential deals. Jim Duquette says that maybe they were talking to the Padres about a Kirby for Mason Miller swap.
It's going to cost a lot, and I don't think it's necessarily just prospects back. I think it could be a team, let's just say a team like the Mariners, who has starting pitching depth. I saw this was shot down by the front office in the Mariners, but I was told yesterday there was some conversation about moving George Kirby in a deal just out there, as they might move him, to fill a couple of different needs, Seattle. But then it was like, oh, maybe it's in a Mason Miller. It was shot down quickly, but that's the type of deal that you could see happening where, it's Miller for, let's say, George Kirby and another lesser piece. But, something like that would make a lot of sense.
I've listened to this cut a few times more. I still can't figure out whether he's trying to say that the Mariners shot down the idea of trading Kirby for Miller, or the Mariners shot down the idea that this was a conversation that had been had. It's a little confusing. Every time I listen to it, I'm not sure. All I can say is I hope they didn't shoot down trading George Kirby for Mason Miller. I would absolutely start a package there. It's not that I don't like Kirby. It's just that Miller is that good. You get more years of control. They get a starting pitcher out of it. You've got too many starting pitchers. It works for me. Ken Rosenthal says they're willing to deal Emerson Hancock. I get that. But again, Morosi says trade him for, say, a Suzuki. Feels like a lot for a rental, man. You only get 2 months of Suzuki. That's a lot to give up for a player that could have a cold month. And the next thing you know, you've totally wasted that chip. I don't love that idea either. All right. That is everything you need to know. 1:15 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. It is football season now. As of today, football season officially starts, and Ray Roberts helps get us ready with some complaints and some excitement about this offensive line and where this team is going. It's next on Brock and Salk.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob.
Cole Young, he just comes up clutch.
Afternoons 2 to 7.
Game's on the line. Say you're tired. 2 outs. Who do you want up at the plate right now? At this very moment after 100 games, who do you trust the most up there? For a young guy in his first full season, he's had some big moments already.
Cole Young's only 22, so it's really exciting for the future.
And by the way, the only player on this roster to play every single game.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change presents Wisdom from the Road.
Summer means wide open spaces and a whole lot of extra miles. The last place you want your engine to give out is halfway to nowhere. Out here, low oil or a weak battery is just an ambush waiting to happen. That's why every oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change includes an 18-point maintenance check. These techs are trained to help spot issues early and keep you riding easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Change wisely.
We're kicking off a football frenzy that can net you up to $10,000 in cash. Don't stand on the sidelines. Get on the pitch and join the fun. Hourly hot seat drawings run every Saturday night from 7 p.m. till midnight in June and July. Take your shot at $10,000 every week. The field's wide open. Don't forget, your Reef Rewards card can save you up to 25 cents per gallon at Lummi Bay Market next to Silver Reef. Silver Reef Casino Resort, located off I-5 exit 260.
50 legends, one unforgettable night. Join the Mariners at T-Mobile Park on Saturday, August 8th for 50 season celebration night presented by Daktronics.
A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner. It was done by the King.
Arrive early to witness an epic pregame ceremony featuring the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled.
Junior with a 2-run home run. Everybody is going bonkers.
Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event going on right now through Sunday, August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a time out to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They're not just window and door experts. They're experts at taking care of you and your home. At Pella, they find the products that meet your needs and their experts install them. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Discover why Pella is a trusted choice for homeowners everywhere. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. That's Pella.com/Eisen.
Less than 4 in 10 kids aged 6 through 12 are playing sports regularly. 4 in 10 kids? Let it sink in. Just 4 in 10 kids. ESPN is building a nationwide coalition powered by Disney called Take Back Sports, with the purpose of training more coaches, expanding access, and creating community-driven sports programming that puts kids and fun first. We're working on that story. We hope you'll join us.
Visit takebacksports.org to learn more.
Dave Wyman here, brand new member of Harborstone Credit Union, and I got my PNW Cashback checking account for free. No fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. Gas, groceries, coffee, travel, lunch, all categories count toward your cash back. Open your free account online like I did. Go to harborstone.com/cash or visit one of their 29 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Come join Cascade Machinery and Electric, where your skills really matter. Family owned and the Pacific Northwest industrial equipment leader for over 100 years. They're hiring manual and job shop machinists in Seattle and Spokane. If you're a skilled machinist at any level that takes pride in your craft, come join the Cascade Machinery and Electric team. Visit cascade-machinery.com/careers and apply today. Cascade Machinery and Electric, powering the Pacific Northwest since 1918.
The biggest scuba sale in America ends tomorrow night at Underwater Sports in North Seattle. Clearance prices on masks, regulators, computers, fins, tanks, BCs, free photo and video seminars, free fitting, and incredible savings on a custom-fit dry suit. Big savings on advanced scuba classes. The 50th Annual Divers Fair at the North Seattle Underwater Sports Store, 107th and Aurora Avenue North. The biggest scuba sale in America ends tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Brock and Salk's Rewind is presented by Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I've been avoiding telling you, Brock, but I have been using the ab roller every day.
Oh. Now, why would you avoid telling me?
Because you're annoying.
Your dear friend of all these years.
Because you're annoying when it comes to anything along these lines.
Really?
You're competitive, you're judgy, and I don't like talking to you about these things.
Whoa, Mike, I just want you healthy.
No, you're competitive and you're judgy.
Well, maybe I'll go get my ab wheel, and during the next break, I better get on it.
How many of those can you do?
I don't. I got to be real careful with my low back on that thing, honestly.
I'm trying to do it.
I'm a little
to help
surprised.
my back.
Yeah, I'm surprised with your upper body nerve issues.
I know. That hasn't been a problem, but I'm trying to help the core, and it is. I can kind of get to 10, but like I don't do them nearly as well. Like Cecily gets all the way down. I can't go all the way, or like I'll die.
No.
I feel like if I go all the way down on that thing, I'll never come back.
Well, imagine if Big Ray tried to go all the way down. He would be like in Tukwila
Ray's like
with
a
the length
shell
of his
himself.
arms.
Ray is so thin. Like,
no, I'm talking about the length of his arms with that ab roller, Saul.
That's true.
Imagine that.
He'd need a full gym just to get it done. Hi, Ray. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
You ever use the ab roller?
The ab roller. Have you ever seen me, Mike?
So when you're, hold on a minute. So go back, take me back. I love you, man. I was literally saying to Brock yesterday, we haven't talked to Ray in forever, and then he called you to come on today. I'm so happy about that. But take me back. You're a first round pick NFL left tackle. Right? You're in the gym, you're throwing up weight, you're benching, you're squatting, you're doing all that stuff. Do you do anything for your abs and your core when you're an NFL left tackle? Do you do anything?
Beat it.
Planks? Did we at least do some planks?
Dude, I didn't know what a plank was until about 2 years ago. This is how crazy it is, Mike. Like, so I've been trying to be healthier and working out and all this other kind of stuff, and starting to kind of understand like how important it is to do ab work. And it probably wasn't until about 3 months ago that I realized that there's a difference between your abs and your core. I thought it was all the same stuff.
Huh.
And so when you asked me, was I thinking about core and ab work when I was in the league? That would be a big fat 0. It was like bench press, squats, power cleans. That was it. And if I wasn't doing that, I probably wasn't in the gym.
Do you think that's true now, or the guys like is a left tackle now a little bit more on top of all of that?
Well, I just think the attention is on top of all of it. Like all this functional strength and things like that wasn't a big deal. When I was playing, it was more all these Olympic lifts. So that's why you were doing all this power clean, and your bench press max was important. Your power clean max, your deadlift, all that kind of stuff. Those things were like the big numbers that you wanted to get. But then, as time goes and things get better and people have better understanding, then it's more like how strong can you be through the different movements you got to make. Right. And so then that then starts to kind of impact like your core and your abs and all that kind of stuff.
All right, so will you answer a real question for me? If you could go back, would you prefer to play in a time where they knew all of that and it could have really helped you achieve maximum performance and make you an even better player than you were? Or would you prefer to play in the time you were at where nobody was doing that? So it's like, screw it. Nobody did it. So it was all kind of evened out.
Well, I feel like it would be the same no matter what. Like if
might as well not do it.
Nobody was thinking about it, and so we didn't do it. But if back then everybody was thinking about it, we'd do it. And so you kind of be in the same thing. But I've always just I was just at like a soft midsection there, Hoss, and I just embraced that thing, and it's just kind of been part of who I am. And even now with all the work that I try to do, it's still there. It's a Roberts thing, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. So I just embrace it and keep it moving.
Well, just embracing who Big Ray is for the last couple decades and knowing him, I have a sense there's a narrative. There's a sports radio conversation. There's something going on right now that you're just annoyed by. It just bothers you. You're just sick and tired of hearing something. What is that something with the start of training camp tomorrow?
Well, I'm always going to be the guy that there's two things. One
soft belly. One, number
soft
two.
Belly. But one is the heavy dependence on all of the data that ends up meaning something. And it to me, like, the data is cool stuff, but it's just a part of the pie. It's not the pie. And I don't want to like offend people, but a lot of people that haven't played the game rely really heavily on the data. And then you don't have an appreciation for what it means to actually play the game. And so then sometimes you can't put the two together. And so I always say that, like, if you have, the data can be misleading and the narrative can be empty. So you have to put them both together. And so then that's what tells the whole story. And so you can't just say, whatever your data point is means that person is good or bad or indifferent. You have to put the whole story together. And so some of that stuff kind of drives me a little bit crazy. And then just kind of the old dude in me, just sometimes I feel like it cheapens the experience of the people that played, because then you want to argue data, and it's like, man, like that. Sometimes the data doesn't mean a damn thing when someone's freaking punch you in the face. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't. It really doesn't. Like if you're driving someone's back into the dirt, I don't care what their win percentage is on the pass rush. Their back is in the dirt. If you're sacking the quarterback, I don't care what your pressure rate is, because some quarterbacks play really well under pressure. They don't play well when their back is on the ground. And so when you start trying to say that, this guy gets this many pressures, but he only has 5 sacks. Well, I don't care about the pressures. I want the sacks. The play's over when your back is on the ground. And so that type of stuff kind of gets at me a little bit. And then more recently, just like listening to the responses of obviously you don't want to see people lose their jobs, but like with the layoffs at ESPN, and then all of the sympathy and things for people that have been laid off, and all the cases that have been made for why they shouldn't have and why they should stay and how bad the system is. But then they don't have that same type of, I don't know what's a better word for, I don't want to say compassion, but they don't have that same type of response for players that are like, you can be let go tomorrow. And then instead of that same type of response, you get the case of why they should have been let go, and why they're not worth what they were worth, and all these different kinds of things. And so it kind of forces you to kind of almost be selfish. And I'm not that type of a dude, but there are times in your life where you have to be selfish to secure the things that you need. But it doesn't mean that you're not being a team player and doing it.
That's Ray Roberts with us. Brock, what was there was a video that G sent us a couple of weeks ago, and I don't think we ever ended up playing the sound. I forget who it was, making some of the same point that Ray just made about
data.
Yeah, but especially in football, look, it's not baseball. Baseball, the data really can tell you the story. And sometimes the data in baseball, will actually tell you a more accurate story than what your eyes think that they're seeing. But the NFL is so interconnected, and there are so many things that can't be captured by stats that Ray, I tend to agree with you. As much as we try to use the stats to figure stuff out, it is so hard to ignore what your eyes show you in this game.
Well, it's not only just what your eyes are showing you, but you can't measure a person's heart. Like if you're playing baseball and the data says, I don't follow baseball, so I'm going to jack up the data. But if the data says, that this guy hits a certain percentage in a certain situation, but you can't measure what's in that dude's brain when he walks up to the plate. You can't measure if he can handle the moment,
mm-hmm.
or if he can handle the noise, or if you don't know, what's going on in his relationships in the locker room. Like, all those types of things matter, and so you can't just rely on the data. So that's why I always say, I've played football. I played football for a long time, and so I played in teams that could run the ball really, really well. And it didn't matter if a guy was the best defensive lineman in the league. If you're in his freaking grill and he's having to get off blocks and make tackles all day with a running back that's running downhill, you can't measure when he taps the top of his helmet and he's telling the sideline, "Hey, I need to get up out of here for a second." There's no data point for that. The only data point for that is that you're getting your ass kicked. That's it. And you can't put a data point to that. And so that's the part where I think the people that rely heavily on data just can't speak to that piece. If you haven't been in that fire, and it's not like a knock against them. It's just that you haven't been in that fire. I can't go tell a doctor, what it's like to do some type of surgery when I haven't been in the fire. I can have all the data that the reports say about different types of surgeries, but I haven't been in the surgery room with the scaffold and with the pressure of actually doing it. And so I think some of that gets overlooked a little bit, or a lot, actually.
Yeah, especially in the off season when there is no video, when all of it has been crunched and evaluated and talked through. Hey, one of the storylines of camp, Big Ray is with us here, Ray Roberts. One of the bigger storylines of camp and really into the season will be the new play caller. Brian Fleury is in, replacing Clint Kubiak, elevated to head coach with the Raiders. Just kind of curious, Ray, from your life experience, who were some of your favorite offensive coordinators? And what did the good ones do to set themselves apart from maybe those that you struggled with?
I would say probably, and you knew this guy, the best coordinator I had, mostly because we had some good players, was Tom Moore when I was in Detroit. And I remember there was the year that Barry rushed for 2,000 yards. We only had like 53 yards rushing after 2 games, Barry did. And so he called a lot of us, myself, Kevin Glover, Herman Moore, the quarterbacks, Barry, a few of us in, and just said, "Hey, like, what do you guys see that we need to be doing more?" And just that move alone, whether you thought he was a great play caller or not, that spoke to his leadership for me in that situation, because he could have just kept doing what he was doing.
Nice, right, slam, blunt, check with me. Nice, slam, blunt, check with me.
Exactly. Run. Run
the ball. Whoever plays the hardest, the longest wins.
Oh, my God.
Don't get me started. Don't get me started on
Thanks a lot, Ray. Appreciate that. Thanks.
I just love that he that he did that. And so I really did appreciate that in him. And then we had this guy, Sylvester Crooms, that came in after him that was pretty good too. But he's only in the league for just a little bit. But I really liked him in Detroit. I can't speak for, what we're doing in Seattle at the time. But those 2 dudes were pretty good. Funny story about Tom Moore, though, is when I signed with Detroit, he called me, and I've never heard him talk in his life. And then he was, like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I was like, after a while, I'm like, "Hey, coach, what are you doing?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "It sounds like you went for a run or something." You can't catch your breath. Like he was.
Ray.
And I didn't know that that that's just how he talked. And so then when I got to Detroit, dude, I was just like laughing. It was funny because I was just like, oh, my bad, dog. Like.
Ray, it would not be a visit with you if we didn't talk at least a little bit of offensive line. We were talking about the Seahawks this morning earlier, and I was saying, all right, if they're going to be better this year, one of the key groups that can get better is that offensive line. Obviously, it got a lot better last year, but I've been kind of going back and watching all of the games in order, and the beginning of the year was okay. I mean, like, it wasn't as bad as it had been, but it certainly wasn't what it looked like by the end of the year, with the same group coming back and another year in the same type of system and the chemistry and all of it. Can the offensive line be even better this year?
I think it can, and I think you hit on 2 points there, is that you have the same offensive line coach, and hopefully, the calls and techniques and the plays and things are going to be pretty much the same and similar. I think that part is important. And because I do think that with all of the changeover over the years, that has impacted the ability for them to develop offensive linemen, because you get a different coach, a different system, a different voice, different ways to explain the same technique, all these different kinds of things. And so that impacts your ability to develop as a player. So I even, people point mostly to Bradford. And I remember talking to him at some point last year, and he's talked about how many different offensive line coaches he's had since college. And so he hasn't really been under the same voice for very long, And so for a guy who, as a player, was, I would say, for the lack of a better phrase, immature, like player-wise, not as a person, that's important, because if you're constantly learning something new and a new way to do it, it becomes really hard to do. And so I think, and even like a guy like Charles Cross, there were things in his game that needed some improvement, but you could tell at times where, because you've heard so many different voices, you just kind of go back to what you know. And you can tell that sometimes his technique slid back to just what he knew, and it may not have been the best for what was happening. But I do think that with this offensive line coming back, with the dudes they have coming back, with the success they had last year, and even though at the beginning of the season last year the running game wasn't clicking the way they wanted it to, but the running game was still having impact on the passing game. And so I think that was one thing they can lean their hat on, as they were really learning that wide zone, because you could tell that they were kind of struggling with that a little bit. But then as they kind of got a handle of it down the stretch, and then Kenneth Walker was just running with a little bit more conviction and commitment to what they were trying to get done, then the running game picked up and everything else was better. So I do think they'll be better. I do love that, the thing that's important to me is that they have Gray Zabel coming back healthy, and they have Big Abe coming back healthy, because those two dudes are tone setters. They are guys that are ready. They're ready for that smoke all the time. It doesn't matter. If there's going to be a fight, they're going to be in it. If there's going to be a battle, they're going to be in it. And to me, you have to have that type of stuff on the offensive line. And it's one of those things like a data point can't measure. You can't measure when Gray Zabel's 5 yards, 10 yards down the field trying to drive someone in the back. It can't measure when Abe is tossing people over piles and chasing the ball down the field. It can't measure that kind of stuff. And this team needs that on the offensive line. And those two dudes carry it with pride. And so I do think that having the same voice as an offensive line coach, and then also just having some of that success and knowing what it looks and feels like is going to help with the offensive line.
Ray, it's interesting. I told Salk the other day, and we had team camp, and literally I said I could watch these practice reps. There's probably 400 of them, all these scrimmage reps for 7-8 hours. And sure enough, yesterday, the boys had the day off, and we were watching tape. And all of a sudden, we started at like 1 o'clock. We ended at 4. You would have loved to have been in Coach's office. Ben Hamilton, 10-year NFL lineman. Ralph Tam, 12-year NFL lineman. I loved it. I'm learning. I'm so curious about every little inch and technique. And again, all those things that the data doesn't really measure, but you just listen to their years and years of experience. So with that in mind, what do you think Benton does best? As like an O-line guru, whether it was technique, whether it was communicate, just take me into how they went from a decade of darkness by most metrics out there to be in one of the top 10 O-lines last year. What did you see him do specifically?
Yeah, so he reminded me when I watched him last year, just running drills and implementing plays and skills and techniques. It reminded me a lot of Howard Mudd. And the thing I loved about Howard is that Howard kind of had a way of coaching that empowered the player. And so based on your ability, he would give you like a couple different ways to execute the block. And so he would do it based on what he thought that you're capable of. So what the right tackle could do on the outside zone might be different than what the left tackle could do on outside zone based on like their athletic ability and technique and stuff. So as I'm watching them do drills, with different players, he would go like, well, you might want to think about doing it this way, like talking to a particular player, like instead of pulling around a guard, instead of pulling around the tackle, which may not be your strong suit, like you might be able to just go straight up to the second level, just take the right angle so you can get to the outside shoulder. And
case in point, up to the in case in point, I mean, isn't case in point the difference of Anthony Bradford and Gray Zabel's skill sets and talents and differences?
Exactly. Yeah, you're not going to ask them to do the same thing. When I was with Seattle, it was myself and Bill Hitchcock. Bill Hitchcock was a big, strong, powerful dude. I was more athletic than he was, so there were different things that I could do that he couldn't, and so that's a perfect example. And so, like, even there's a couple times where they had Bradford pull. I probably wouldn't have him pull much. Like he doesn't know, he doesn't do good looking up the person he's pulling the trap and things. Yeah. And but Gray Zabel is a freaking missile when he does that. And so that's the thing I love about him. It's not necessarily like all the like motivation and screaming and yelling. He does a great job of looking at seeing what you need in your tool belt and then putting those tools in there so that when it's time to play, you have those different things to go with. And that's what I loved about it. So you can call that communication. You can call it empowerment. You can call it a bunch of different things. But I'm the type of player that responds to stuff like that, because sometimes I would come to the sideline. I go, hey, Howard, like, I tried what you coached me, but it ain't working. And he'd go like, well, Ray, like, what do you think will work? And I'm like, this is what I'm going to try. We'll go do it. And then and that's what I would do. And so I love the way that that Benton has that type of relationship with the players where he's giving them options. It's not just stuck into, hey, you have to do it this way, and if it's not that way, then I guess you can't play for us. It's like, hey, like, based on your ability, like, maybe think about doing it this way. Now, you can do it the other way, but this might be the best option for you in this situation. So I love that about it.
No, and hopefully Howard Mudd wouldn't say something like, hey, man, work on your core, and we get you doing a whole bunch of these things. Maybe they'd work a little better for you when you're out there. Stop deadlifting all the time and start doing some ab work. Ray.
Well, Howard
it was so good to talk to you, Ray. And it's been so long since we had a chance to catch up.
Hey, Brock, when I was there and I did the coaching internship, and I was riding to practice with him from lunch one day, and we were in the on the golf cart, and he was trying to eat a shrimp, and he was trying to talk, and he was kind of shaking at the same time. This shrimp was kicking his butt, dude. Like, I was just like, man, like, I've never seen a shrimp beat somebody up, but Coach, you're struggling with the shrimp over there, bro. Like,
did Salk tell you? Did Salk tell you to tell that story? Because the exact same thing happened at Rose-Hulman Institute in Terre Haute, Indiana, in training camp, when that dude is ripping everybody, and we're at lunch, and under their breath, they're like, look at Tom over there. That shrimp is kicking his butt, kicking his mouth.
No. This is my own personal experience.
You guys are unbelievable.
I was like, man, this shrimp is like killing you, dog. Like freaking get a hot dog or something, or get like a piece of bread or something, because that thing is like Muhammad Ali with you right now.
Did he remember you? Because I know he doesn't always remember Brock. Did he remember you when you went to the coaching internship?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Ray was a star. He actually remembered Ray.
Yeah, Ray, he played.
Brock's left-handed. What? All right, Ray. Thanks, buddy.
Ray.
We appreciate you. Good to catch up. Let's do it again soon.
All right, you guys have a good one, man.
All right, one of my favorite people, Ray Roberts. Great to have him on the show yesterday and help us get ready for camp. Mariners made some news yesterday, not the kind you want to make, and it's a type of news that I think everyone is having a lot of trouble processing, myself included. It's next on Brock and Salk.
Back on February 8th, the countdown started at 167 days.
3, 2, 1,
Right after the clock showed zeros.
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The champs are back on the field tomorrow when Seahawks training camp begins.
We know that we're target number 1 now.
And nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of the Super Bowl champs. Seattle Sports.
These days, everyday savings add up. Get more for your restaurant, food truck, or big event at Chef Store with warehouse savings on the food and supplies you use most. No membership required. Plus, we're open to the public. Visit Chef Store today.
Stay cool this summer and save big. Lake Washington Windows and Doors delivers the quality, comfort, and energy-saving performance you deserve. During July, buy 3 windows or doors and get 1 free. Plus, make no payments for 12 months. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Hi, how can I help?
Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager.
I see.
Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning?
Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
I feel better already.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The biggest scuba sale in America ends tomorrow night at Underwater Sports in North Seattle. Clearance prices on masks, regulators, computers, fins, tanks, BCs, free photo and video seminars, free fitting, and incredible savings on a custom-fit dry suit. Big savings on advanced scuba classes. The 50th Annual Divers Fair at the North Seattle Underwater Sports Store, 107th and Aurora Avenue North. The biggest scuba sale in America ends tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales Event going on right now through Sunday, August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales Event going on right now. Discover the D.R. Horton difference at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Did you know in Washington State, you can see a physical therapist without a referral from your doctor? That's right. Thanks to Direct Access, you can skip the wait and get the care you need right away. Shannon O'Kelly, how has Direct Access changed the game?
Direct Access for us, Brock, is a game changer. Why? Is because there is so much research and data out there that says if you get in early when you have a musculoskeletal problem or an injury, the earlier you get in and we can start care, the better outcomes and the decreased downstream cost, okay? So it's so important. Our providers are all doctors of physical therapy. They're all trained to identify situations and problems. They've got the skill, they've got the talent, they've got the knowledge. If you get in and start therapy early, we're going to get you back to activity, pain-free, and moving and having fun.
Fast, easy, effective. Direct Access is your path to better movement, starting with a single step. Visit irgpt.com to schedule your appointment today. irgpt.com.
Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. Trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams. Drip Drop is engineered to hydrate faster and more effectively than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code RADIO20 for 20% off your first order. That's dripdrop.com, promo code RADIO20.
Michelle here. Look, in sports, the best teams know when to make their move. Sherwin-Williams is making theirs with their summer sale. We're talking 30% off select paints and stains, or 35% off their new product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. You know, I've been looking at these studio walls. They could use a little more red. Get that Cardinal spirit going. Yeah, I like that. You can order online for delivery or swing by your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour of the Brock and Salk Show is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Get me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
I don't read the internet, guys.
Take the bull by the hands.
And Brooke, you are. And Brooke, you are.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Eward and Mike Salk.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Michael.
It is football season today. It begins. It all starts. The defense, the moving of the goalpost forward, Brock. It all starts today. They will try
Run
to
forward. Run it forward.
Run it forward.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
But I got my old school sweater on.
Yeah, you're running it back.
Kind of my favorite one.
Is that in honor of going over week 5 of last year's season at 9 o'clock this morning? As they wore the throwbacks, and so did the Bucks. And
they both look so good.
Yeah, they look so good. So good. Although I will admit, I wish they had gone the other way. I will admit, I wish the Seahawks had worn their white throwbacks, and the Bucks had gone full creamsicle. I mean, that would have just been ideal.
Yeah, it's
but
good.
It's still pretty cool.
This has been an awesome little exercise week to week and going through all the games. If you do watch the QB documentary on Netflix, you will see the Seahawks prevalent, not because Sam's in it, but because of what Baker did to them in this game, and then what they did to Jaden Daniels. Oh my gosh. Do you remember that game was 38-7?
Yeah, we're getting to that. We're not there yet.
Okay.
Baker's pretty good in this game. Anyway, we'll get to that a little bit later. And the Seahawks are, going to be throughout the morning. G. Scott's going to come in, so we'll do all that. At 7:30, Buster Olney will be here. And so we can talk to Buster, obviously, about the trade deadline. There's a lot going on, and the Mariners have had their names mentioned in a whole bunch of different types of deals. Some I like, some I don't. We'll dig into it and talk to Buster about it. And then we can ask him about the news from yesterday, because I really am I'm trying to process the firing of Bobby Magallanes, who was the assistant hitting coach. I'm really struggling.
I saw the headline.
I'm struggling to process this.
I saw the headline from our Seattle Sports, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder Mariners make a move." Like, "Oh, I wonder what that move was." I wonder, is this Seitz? Is this Edgar? Is this right? Is this a trade piece? Is this Louis? Like any number of things. Did not have that on my bingo card. It's like the third guy in line.
Yeah.
When it comes to the whole hitting practice for our Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, and really, I would think, it's more than that, right? I mean, if you consider that it's a strategy that starts with the front office, filters through Edgar and Dan Wilson, and then through Kevin Seitzer, and then to Bobby Magallanes. And I know it's not exactly like that. I understand that, Magallanes and Seitzer kind of split a lot of those duties. Some of it is just like how you name the position. But at the end of the day, it's really hard to fathom how a team that is struggling to hit fires its assistant hitting coach with an expectation that is going to turn things around. It just it feels like a lot of misplaced anger. So all I can and by the way, Spanish speaking, was a manager for the Team Mexico in the WBC.
Have you looked at his Wikipedia, by the way?
Oh yeah, crazy.
Holy smokes.
Been all over.
Yes.
Came in with Seitzer from Atlanta. Seitz brought him in with him, so like they're kind of been a team.
Yep.
So you can imagine there might be a little bit of unrest throughout the building, or maybe on the team plane yesterday, knowing also that this was a family trip. So his family probably would have been on the trip there as well. So yeah, the whole thing is kind of tough to take. The only way I can sort of hope to understand it is to say that actions have consequences. Right. And in this case, the players' actions ended up having consequences for a guy that had almost nothing to do with those actions.
Yeah, when you're dead last in batting average in all of baseball, as you sit there right now, and I think OPS is darn near that.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that there has to be a move made. I know as a player, I've told you this a number of times, Salk, that was a horrible, horrible feeling for me when Jim Lambright and Dick Baird and Randy Hart and guys that recruited me and poured into me and it was their livelihoods when they got fired, excuse me, after we lost to the Air Force in the bowl game. Yes, I was leaving, but it still stung. It still sticks with me. 25. We weren't good enough. We didn't execute well enough. I didn't do my job well enough.
Yep.
That those guys couldn't keep their job and their profession. And I would imagine, I mean, these are still human beings. I would think that is something that, they don't need a reminder that pro sports is transient, is transactional. They don't need that reminder. Heck, they've seen how many different Mariners come in and out of their clubhouse this year through injury and otherwise. So I don't think they need that reminder.
No, more just urgency.
But it is a little bit of a human element.
Just urgency. Come on. It just, hey, boys, like you play like crap, it's going to have a consequence. Someone's going to have to pay the price. A warning shot right across the bow. Something to show some urgency, and I guess I understand it from that perspective, but look, you know how I feel about hitting coaches. I'm not going to change my view on this. I think hitting coaches are of moderate importance. And maybe it's changed a little bit in the last 10 years or so. It used to be they had no importance. Well, I shouldn't say that. Years and years ago, they had a lot of importance. They taught hitting. Mm-hmm. Then they had almost no importance. They just kind of flipped.
Who's the guy that taught that one-handed swing with the
Richie?
White Sox?
Is that Walter Riniak?
There you go.
Walter Riniak. Yeah, the helicopter swing. Yeah, I mean, like years and years ago in the 80s, they had importance. Then for a long time, all they did was flip soft toss in the cage, and they really were just like, hanging out. And then the swing coaches took over, and the swing coaches, everybody's got their private swing coach. But in the last few years, like I am willing to accept that they are finding a way to translate data. Yep. Kind of what we talked about with Tito the other day, translating data that you get from the front office and give it to the players in a way that helps them feel comfortable. Okay, I'm willing to get, but okay, fine. There's some importance to a hitting
synthesizers.
Coach. But
was a synthesizer important to music in the 80s and 90s?
That depends. Yeah, it was actually.
Yes,
That's really when it took off.
Yes.
Letting this team know that it's serious, I guess, is a lot easier to do than benching someone or cutting someone or trading someone or firing somebody who has a bigger role or more upside or more standing in the community or whatever. Like all of those, I understand that this is the easiest first step without committing yourself to greater change.
Correct.
But it rings hollow, unfortunately, at least from the outside. I don't know how it'll be taken on the inside. From the outside, it just rings a little hollow. I understand the thought process. Like, hey, we're not going to pull a 180 in the middle of a season where we're still like a half game out of first place. We're going to do the least amount to mess up the whole system while still explaining to everybody that, there's got to be some level of consequence. But, God, you feel for Bobby Magallanes.
Sure
dude, this wasn't your fault. That just feels ridiculous.
Yeah. And it's probably, and Kevin Seitzer knows this as well, and he was let go in Atlanta, and as you mentioned, brought Bobby with him here, and he probably knows that he's next if this doesn't turn around.
I do wonder who was, behind, whose idea was. Right? Is this a Jerry move? Jerry and Justin? Is this Dan? Is this Edgar? I am a little, and I'm sure they would say each of them, well, we all met on it and this and that. Who's under the most pressure? I mean, you got this from Adam Jude, rather. He was asked yesterday, he was on with Wyman and Bob, and they said, all right, is Dan Wilson coaching or managing for his job?
It's a fair question. Yeah, it really is. The expectations are so high, and that they should be. They openly embrace them. And this is the time where Dan Wilson proves his worth as a manager too. He's still pretty raw at this in a lot of ways, but I know the guys really love him too and respect him. And he gives these guys in the clubhouse a lot of autonomy and a lot of freedom, and he really trusts them. And now is their time to repay him for that trust.
Well, and that's the other thing that kind of hurts too. Like, okay, you give everybody a lot of freedom and a lot of trust, but then when something goes wrong, you fire the assistant hitting coach?
Well, you got to do something, Saul.
Well, but
you've got to make some kind of statement. You got to, again, I'm kind of with you. It's unfortunate that Bobby is the scapegoat on this in many ways.
I get it.
But this is the first lever that you're going to have to pull.
But I would think the first lever you pull is maybe taking some of that autonomy back from the clubhouse. That, to me, would be the first lever. Before people start losing their jobs and before you paint a picture that the issue was Bobby Magallanes, I'd try giving less autonomy in the clubhouse.
And that looks like what?
I don't know. I'm not in the clubhouse every day, but I'm just taking Adam Jude's word for it, who is in the clubhouse every day. And we've certainly heard this in other places. Like, yeah, then maybe you got to start having some tougher conversations. What about, a benching now and again? What about, some level of accountability when mistakes are made? To me, that comes before this. I don't know. I was surprised by it. Buster, as I said, is going to join us in 20 minutes. Here's a little of what he said yesterday on Refuse to Lose.
Yeah, I guess the average tenure of hitting coaches in the big leagues right now is about 2 years. I would never downplay the potential impact of a hitting coach, but the fact that you have so much turnover tells you that, it's like the weather with the hitting coaches sometime. And, we'll see how it goes. And I don't know the reason behind this firing. It might be, who knows? If it is related to the performance of the team, not a surprise at some point that the Mariners front office is going to be looking to shake things up.
Yeah, I mean, dead last in baseball.
But is this a shakeup? Does it shake things up to fire your assistant hitting coach?
I mean, it's the first little shakeup you could do. I mean, it's not a full Shakira, hip shaking.
The hips, don't lie.
But it's a first little movement, right? It's the first little wiggle. It's the first little, again, to the players, to the human beings involved.
Like, I mean, that's the only way I can understand it. That's the only way for me to kind of, work my way through and reconcile this. And I'm sure there's something to it. I'm not sitting here saying it's the wrong move and it can't work or anything like that. It just feels a little hollow. Now, hopefully they go out on the road, beat the crap out of Texas, do the same with the Dodgers, win 5 out of 7 on this trip, and we'll all know for sure that Bobby no, I'm just kidding. But that they needed some sort of a wake-up call. We've been saying, wake the team up. I said it yesterday. If this is the thing that does it, then so be it. That's what they needed. Let's move forward. We'll give you everything you need to know. Buster Olney with more on this, plus the trade deadline in 20. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Seattle Sports, home of Bump and Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
Safety Nick and Manwari on PUP to begin training camp. One thing I want to say about preseason PUP is it is not the PUP list to miss time during the season.
It could be something real simple. And they're like, all right, he's already in good shape. He's been to all of our stuff. It's not like he's going to get lots of reps during preseason games. I'm hoping it's just being really, really cautious when it comes to Nick and Manwari.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
You're in charge of ordering boxes. Small boxes, big boxes, really big boxes. You're in charge of tape, labels, mailers, bubble wrap, extra bubble wrap. Just for fun. You're in charge of warehouse cleaning and safety supplies. Good thing there's Uline. Thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline makes it easy because you already do enough. Uline, we warehouse for you.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do. Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
What if I told you a local credit union is giving members up to $30 per month just to make everyday purchases? Dave Wyman here, and when I heard about the offer from Harborstone Credit Union, I said, sign me up. And that's what I did at harborstone.com/cash. You know, I'm not a tech-savvy guy, but opening a checking account was easy enough for me to figure out. I got my PNW Cashback checking account for free, no fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. My wife loves it when I get cash back on gas, groceries, coffee, travel, and lunch. All categories count towards your cash back. You can even tap to pay. If you live, work, or worship in the state of Washington, sign up for a membership with Harborstone Credit Union and get the PNW Cashback free checking account. Open your free account online like I did at harborstone.com/cash or visit one of their 29 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Ready to relax, unwind, and feel your best? The Spa Warehouse Summer Savings Expo is on now. Enjoy big savings on in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. Hot tubs start as low as $3,999 with savings up to $3,000 on select models. Score incredible deals on in-stock swim spas. Save up to $7,700. Plus, interest-free financing through 2028 on approved credit. The expo ends July 31st. Don't delay. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host, underwent Swedish CyberKnife treatment for prostate cancer. What's it like to go through the CyberKnife treatment?
You do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital. They say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It was just too easy.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Swedish.org/CyberKnife Prostate.
CyberKnife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Hi, how can I help? Well, my husband and I feel like we've outgrown our current money manager. I see. Our lives have changed, and we need something more than just mutual funds to help us in retirement.
She's right.
I hear that often. At Fisher Investments, we'd start by getting to know you, your finances, family, health, lifestyle. We tailor a portfolio around your goals and needs.
Sounds good.
Can you help with estate planning? Yes. We have a team of specialists who can help you with estate planning, Social Security, investment income, and more. We'll get to know your whole financial picture and help keep you on the path to a comfortable retirement.
And your fees?
We have a simple, transparent fee that's a percentage of the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better. I feel better already. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com/different. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Let's go, Brock. It is training camp day. It all starts today. Seahawks veterans report for duty in Renton. I said the other day there wasn't much drama, so then there was a little drama. I don't want to say it again, but
don't say it, Salk.
Did you head in as the defending champs? HBO is going to be there, Brock. They're taking in every moment. They're going deep behind the scenes. Obviously, the Devin Witherspoon negotiations will be a part of that. Ian Rappaport has the latest.
My understanding is the Seahawks and Witherspoon have been in intense negotiations for the last several months on a deal that will almost certainly make him the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. Previously, or currently, I should say, it's $31 million per year in new money. $32 million per year would be the new benchmark for Devin Witherspoon. Would be very surprised if a deal doesn't end up around there for the Seahawks star. Really just a matter of the two sides agreeing on a number and getting this deal done. The Seahawks have made an extraordinary effort to try to make this happen. We will see if Witherspoon ends up accepting and if the two sides end up coming together and solidifying this deal.
Well, and he'd have that title as the top-paid corner for, a week?
I mean, that's the whole deal. Like, how do you want to jerry-rig this thing to where, I have it for a day, or I have it this way, or I have it in this capacity. G wants to talk about this in an hour, and I understand that. And we also understand enough of the way they do business and how they fold their years in. It's why JSN's deal got done, why Cross's deal got done, and why he's the next one to get done. Like, this is the way we do business. Here's your number for your 4th year. Here's a number for the 5th year. And then we'll make you the highest paid to year 6, 7. Like, this is how we all do it. This is how we stay 70 strong. This is how we run it forward and go after another Super Bowl title.
Looked like there's some good news on Zach Charbonnet. Mike Garafolo saying yesterday he could be ready to come off the PUP after the 4 weeks and be ready to go. That would be an incredible development. In the meantime, going to be all about Jadarian Price. Mike Golick Jr. on with Bump and Stacy talking about the rookie running back.
Jadarian, the thing that always stood out to me was, first off, vision. I thought no matter the scheme, he did a really good job of understanding where his options were in front of him in the run game and then turning that into the ability to make a big play. He's not as fast as Jeremiah was, straight line speed, but his ability to put his foot in the ground, make that decision, and then explode east and west.
Okay. Well, I'm ready, man. Like, he's the guy, right? That's the guy you're going to be looking at probably first and foremost to see what he looks like going up against actual pros in practice. Yeah, probably won't see much before they get the pads on. But yeah, Jadarian Price, definitely a guy with a lot to prove.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Biggest road trip of the year so far, and it's really not all that close. 4 in Texas. Rangers lead the division, then 3 at Dodger Stadium. Yeah, that's about as big as it gets. Pitching matchups look like this. Tonight, Bryce Miller and Mackenzie Gore, lefty, right? Saturday, Wu and Evaldi. Sunday, Logan Gilbert and Jacob deGrom. And then Monday, Kirby and Rocker. So, I mean, there you go. Best on best. Let's go.
Just took a look. Again, you can minimize that whole ESPN algorithms and projections and how they just kind of look at each game, and they favor the Rangers in 3 out of the 4. Based on the stats and the numbers. And when you're hitting what you're hitting and you're slugging what you're slugging and you're doing what you're doing offensively, yeah, you kind of get it. You know, that's kind of, unfortunately, how those things project out. I did take a look and do some math last night, Saul.
Okay.
I was pretty good at math back in the day.
Of course.
Maybe some of my language skills screwing up gerrymander and jerry-rig get you chuckling.
I mean, they both kind of work.
They do kind of both work. I meant jerry-rig.
I mean, they both kind of work in that spot, though.
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was actually kind of why I laughed.
3% of the year. You're 63% of the year. At that same juncture, the Seahawks were 8-3 and didn't lose another game. Won their next 9 and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I know, different sport, different game, different time, different schedule.
You're not going to go the 130 and 30.
You're certainly not. But is it time to lock in? Is it time to wake up? Is it time to focus and actually start distancing yourself from your foes first and foremost in your division? You get that chance now.
And they have an obvious, moment to spur them on. The firing of assistant hitting coach Bobby Magallanes worked under Edgar and Seitzer. Again, I don't think anyone thinks that this is his fault, but the hope, I hope, is that it sends some kind of message.
Have you met him and you talked to him?
I don't know him, but he seemed very popular in the media. You hear his name often from Angie and
really
Brad and those
kind, welcoming spirit. Yeah, nice dude.
Yeah, that's what I mean, he seemed to be very popular and very talkative.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
And I should say, Adam Jude saying that, probably will not be all that popular.
I don't think it'd be a popular move inside the clubhouse. Again, I hadn't heard of any particular incidents, and everything the guys I've talked to over the last year and a half working with Bobby Magallanes is that he's well-liked and well-respected guy. So, yeah, to your point, I think when players aren't performing up to their expectations, they're going to feel responsible. Well, obviously, Bobby wasn't the guy stepping in the batter's box and trying to hit.
And then meanwhile, it is getting real close to trade deadline time, Brock. We're 11 days away. We'll talk to Buster Olney in just about 5 minutes, and he'll give us more. But Jim Duquette, I'm still a little confused. I've listened to this cut a bunch of times. I'll let you hear.
Did you see Ken Rosenthal's report? Is it in line with that as well?
On Suzuki? Hancock? No, this has nothing to do with Hancock.
Okay.
This is the Mason Miller, George Kirby conversation.
It's going to cost a lot. And I don't think it's necessarily just prospects back. I think it could be a team, let's just say a team like the Mariners, who has starting pitching depth. I saw this was shot down by the front office and the Mariners. But I was told yesterday there was some conversation about moving George Kirby in a deal just out there, as they might move him, to fill a couple of different needs, Seattle. But then it was like, oh, maybe it's in a Mason Miller. It was shot down quickly, but that's the type of deal that you could see happening where, it's Miller for, let's say, George Kirby and another lesser piece. But, something like that would make a lot of sense.
So I don't think it's that the Padres said we want Miller and the Mariners said okay. Or the Padres said we want Kirby and the Mariners said no. I think he means they shot down the report that they were even talking about George Kirby.
I kind of hear that on first blush as the Mariners are not putting Kirby out there. They're putting Luis out there.
Right.
They're putting Emerson or Hancock
Absolutely,
out there.
which is fine. But if you want to get Mason Miller, trade George Kirby. Okay. Works for me. That is everything you need to know. 1/4 every hour here on the Brock and Salk Show. In fact, why continue to talk about this, just the two of us, Brock, when we can bring, Buster Olney onto the show and talk to Buster about it? He's going to join us next. Perfect to talk to Buster a week and a half before the trade deadline. It's coming up on Brock and Salk.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob.
Cole Young, he just comes up clutch.
Afternoons 2 to 7.
Game's on the line. Say you're tied, 2 outs. Who do you want up at the plate right now? At this very moment after 100 games, who do you trust the most up there? For a young guy in his first full season, he's had some big moments already.
Cole Young's only 22, so it's really exciting for the future.
And by the way, the only player on this roster to play every single game.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Washington drivers share the road with thousands of semi-trucks, but new reporting and federal investigations have unveiled that as many as 1 in 5 of those trucks are operated by chameleon carriers, trucking companies that rack up crashes and safety violations only to close and reopen under a new name with a clean record. If you've been injured in a trucking accident, time may be running out to recover. Call Davis Law Group today at 206-888-8888 or visit davislawgroupseattle.com.
The Boeing Classic welcomes the world's greatest golf legends to the Pacific Northwest, August 14th through the 16th at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Watch Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers compete for a $2.3 million purse at the only PGA Tour champion stop in the region. Bring the whole family and make sure to check out the Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com to get yours today.
Hey Seattle, Jake Bobo from Techline Roofing. Are you in the market for a new roof? With the strongest workmanship warranty in the business, Techline Roofing has you covered. Take advantage of our easy financing and our summer special. Trust Techline.
Hey everyone, Rick Witters with Cressy Door. At Cressy Door, we offer top-of-the-line garage doors, garage door service, and garage door repairs. Residential or commercial, please consider Cressy Door for all of your garage door needs. Cressy Door.
A Wilt Chamberlain 1972 playoff game-worn jacket was recently bought for $3 at a Goodwill in Portland. You may not be sitting on a warm-up jacket worn by Wilt the Stilt, but there's serious value to your old gold, jewelry, watches, silver, and coins. Dave Wyman encouraging you to see what they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Linwood. They'll give you an honest, no-pressure assessment for free. See how much they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins, and if the price is right, cash in.
Look, I need to be real with you for a second. At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families cannot afford the food their kids need to heal. Think about that. A child recovering from surgery, learning to walk again, and the family is struggling to put food, nutritious food, on the table. That's why Safeway and Seahawk, Jackson Smith and Jigba are launching the Food First Project, a multi-year initiative to fight pediatric food insecurity right here in our community. This is not someday maybe talk. This is grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs going directly to families the moment the need is identified. No barriers, no red tape, just help right now. They're funding vitamin D screenings, nutrition support for student athletes, rehabilitation feeding tools, and meals for hundreds of families staying inpatient at the hospital. I love what Safeway and Seattle Children's are doing, making a real difference where it matters most. JSN showing up. Now it's our turn, 12s. Put food first. Learn more at Safeway.com.
The idea of push-starting a boat just doesn't seem right to us here at Pacific Power Batteries. A marine battery should just plain work every time. Let us help you with selecting the right type of marine battery. Deep cycle, starting battery, AGM, or even lithium battery. You can start with our helpful hints on our website or just stop by and talk with us. Don't worry, you don't need to be a Marine to buy a battery from us. Get it? Marine batteries? Pacific Power Batteries. Come into a business with a soul.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
This summer, there are 250 reasons to join T-Mobile.
Girls trip? Booked. And switching to T-Mobile helped make it happen.
With Experience Beyond, switch and get $100 back. Plus, $650 in value in built-in plan benefits. That's $750 in your first year, guaranteed.
And honestly, that $100 back, I'm putting it towards the zip line.
Now that's how you do summer.
Exactly. Best switch I ever made.
This is just one reason to join T-Mobile this summer. There are 250 reasons. Find yours.
Savings based on the value of benefits included with Experience Beyond, like entertainment and 1 year of AAA Classic and Dash Pass on us. Benefits may require activation. See plan for details. Get $100 via virtual prepaid MasterCard with eligible ported, no cash access, and expires in 6 months. Issued by Sunrise Banks, N.A. member FDIC. Allow 8 weeks.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, 11 days to go before the trade deadline. Buster Olney of ESPN joining us now. Good morning, Buster. How are things? How you doing?
Oh, it's like the calm before the storm right now, because it does feel like there's a big storm coming at some point.
Well, it's funny because it was not that long ago that it felt like this trade deadline was maybe shaping up to be a bit of a dud, and everyone in the American League was, bad or right around the same mediocrity, and nobody was going to be a seller. And now here we are just a week and a half away, and there are a lot of big names that are at least being discussed. How involved do you think the Mariners are in some of these big names?
Oh, I think they're definitely going to get involved in terms of upgrading the team. Now, it might not be that, unlike last year where they basically landed, when they were sort of felt like they jumped the market a little bit, how aggressive they were on Naylor and Suarez. I think they'll upgrade, but I don't think they're going to go absolutely bonkers. I think they would qualify for going bonkers if they landed Mason Miller. But after talking with different people, sources around baseball, I don't think the Mariners will make that, do that expensive move to get him. There are other moves they can make. I think, for example, Casey Schmidt of the San Francisco Giants, who would be a perfect addition for the Mariners because he's a right-handed hitter. He's versatility. He could fill in different spots. He could play anywhere in the infield, and he started playing some outfield this year. I think they'll definitely at some point add a right-handed hitter.
Could these 10 games over the next 10 days, and in particular with the Rangers and then the Dodgers, that data and those data points change any of the level of urgency for the Mariners?
I think no. I guess the answer would be no unless they totally collapse, right? But here's the thing. I mean, what we're seeing in the American League, this is obviously a big series coming up against the Rangers, but do I think, given how these two teams have performed, that, this could be the crossroads series for either one of the clubs? No, I don't, because all year it has felt like the Seattle Mariners are the sleeping giants of baseball, and especially the really mediocre American League. And you keep on waiting and waiting and waiting for them to take off. So I don't think that, the next 10 days would be, significantly consequential for the Mariners unless they just absolutely went on a 10-game loss bender. And that obviously would change the equation dramatically. But there's no reason to think they would do that. I think they're too good for that to happen.
I'll admit I'm a little bummed to hear you say that about Mason Miller. That's of all the names that have come across, and not that I don't like Casey Schmidt. It obviously would depend on what you got to give up, or Taylor Ward.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys they're incremental help. But Mason Miller makes the Mariners. I mean, it gives them the best bullpen in the game by far, right? I mean, like, why wouldn't you attempt to go be dominant in one part of the game?
I think because, the Mariners, obviously, in recent years, they built up their farm system. They have one of the best farm systems. In San Diego's asking price for Mason Miller, there has to be a young, high-end young pitcher who's going to anchor the deal going the other way. Do I think that the Mariners would, consider giving up Cade Anderson? Absolutely not. I don't think anybody looks at Emerson Hancock as being that sort of guy. And knowing also that, and I don't know for sure that the Yankees are going all in to get Mason Miller, but that's who they'd be bidding against to some degree. Maybe the Philadelphia Phillies. What's interesting is that so many of the contending teams have closers. The Braves are set up at the back end. The Phillies have Yohan Duran. The Dodgers, typically, when you get a high-end player like this, like Mason Miller, who's available in the trade market, they get involved. But does anybody think the Padres would trade Mason Miller to the Dodgers? Like, that's not happening. And so the Mariners' main competition might be the Yankees for Mason Miller. And if you're A.J. Preller, who has done huge deals not only with the Mariners, but he also has done them with the Yankees, you can sit back and say, sorry, it's going to hurt, and you're going to have to give up, Sloan, Anderson, one of those guys, that level of guy, to anchor a deal, plus other guys. And my instinct is that the Mariners, where they are and how they play it, I don't see them going all in. But I agree with what you say. I mean, Mason Miller in the Mariners bullpen, wow. Yeah. You talk about shortening the game, making yourself dangerous. I just think right now, with how their offense is performing, dead last out of 30 teams in runs scored since June 3rd, averaging just 3.5 runs a game. That's going to be an area of focus for them.
What about including, all right, if you're not going to go with Cade Anderson or Ryan Sloan, for obvious reasons, and I don't think I'd support that either, what about someone like George Kirby? I mean, what would the Padres' interest be in someone with a few years of club control, but with an established major league, pedigree already?
Yeah, and by the way, when they made the deal with the Yankees with Juan Soto going from San Diego to New York, who was one of the centerpiece guys in the deal? Michael King, who had years in the big leagues. He was kind of along the same timeline that George Kirby is right now. It would just depend on what San Diego offers. I mean, really, a lot of times when I got to be honest, when I read, different stories about, well, this is a great trade matchup and here's the trade I'd like to see, and the speculation among, idiots like myself, I just kind of shake my head, because beauty's in the eyes of the beholder. And A.J. Preller, the Padres GM, is an excellent talent evaluator. And it might be that there are guys that he's looking at saying, yeah, I believe that that's the guy that we want to add in a deal. So we can speculate on different names all we want. But in the end, it comes down to what A.J. wants.
Yesterday, Buster Salk started the show with Wake Up. A little Rage Against the Machine, time for the Mariners to wake up. You just called them a sleeping giant. We heard that all through the All-Star break. Who's a sleeping giant? Well, why are they asleep? Why is this team, from your perspective, sleeping?
And it's interesting, because I think if you were to draw up a list of like the 10 biggest surprises in baseball, who would guess that as of whatever today's date is, July 24th, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hasn't hit a home run at home? I mean, that's insane, right? After we saw in the postseason last year, who would guess that the Toronto Blue Jays would be sellers? Who would guess? And the Mariners, the fact that they have struggled this year, I think, is one of the great mysteries in baseball, because it makes no sense. You would assume that with that rotation and with the stars they have in their everyday lineup, that they would have taken this division by the throat and taken control of it. Look, no one talks about this out loud, but a lot of people with a lot of teams talk about it quietly, and that is the impact of the WBC. Cal Raleigh, I mean, the Mariners had, 13 guys who were doing that. The Kansas City Royals, I know, feel like that they were affected. The Toronto Blue Jays feel like they were affected, because what happened in the WBC is that it wasn't only about playing time and at-bats, but it was about preparation. I've talked to guys who are in the WBC who have struggled, and what they say is that they just didn't have a regular spring training, which typically, as you guys know, guys show up at the ballpark at 7 o'clock. They go and do their exercise. They can get reps in the cage. They're kind of, it's a slow, steady process of 6-7 weeks to get ready for the season that goes on for like 8 hours a day. Well, in the WBC, what the teams got was 2 hours availability on a field like regular batting practice during the regular season. And there are a number of baseball executives who have told me that they think the next time the WBC is played, that they'll insist on having access to a complex where players can get their normal spring training work. But obviously, Cal Raleigh is probably number one on that list of players who may have been affected by the WBC.
I know you talked a little bit about the move the Mariners made yesterday, firing their assistant hitting coach, Bobby Magallanes. What role do you think coaching in general, whether it's hitting coach, management, what role has coaching / management played in their underachievement?
Minor, a very minor role, especially in this era. I think the worst job in professional sports is to be a hitting coach, because so many of these guys have their personal hitting coaches. We've heard the great example this year, Caleb Durbin of the Red Sox struggled at the beginning of the year. He hired his own guy. He's driving outside of Boston 30, 40 miles every day when they're back in Massachusetts, and he's working with his guy, and then he goes to the ballpark, and he's turned it around, and he's gotten better. Well, the problem with that dynamic, of course, is that if the player doesn't perform, guess who gets blamed? Not the guy who was in the batting cage at 11 o'clock in the morning when the hitter was raking against the pitching machine. It's the guy who's in the dugout. I suspect that what's going on there with the Mariners is that you sort of have the old school type hitting coaches, the field type hitting coaches, and Edgar Martinez, Kevin Seitzer, and they wanted more of an informational guy, someone who in this era can talk about data and present more of that information. The hitters now, they ask for that stuff, the new assistant that they brought in is he's saturated in that sort of information, and I don't know if it's going to make a difference. But if you're the Mariners at this point, you're trying everything you can, because it's been so wildly disappointing.
It's just funny, given that it was just a couple years ago they were saying, there's too much data. We got to simplify this thing. We got to bring in guys that don't. And then, that's the nature of sports, right? We got a tough coach, and then you got a player's coach. And I get it. It kind of goes back and forth. And it is a point with the Mariners with their struggles where it really does come to that old line about the definition of insanity, where you do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result. That's where the Mariners are, which is why you've seen them shake up their lineup, trying different things, and now they try a different assistant hitting coach. So offense has been a problem. Nothing is going to have a bigger effect than Cal, Julio, and Josh Naylor being better than they've been.
Right.
We all know that. But if you are going to go out and acquire offense, specifically a right-handed bat, I know you mentioned Casey Schmidt. We've heard the name Taylor Ward. Seiya Suzuki's name has come up. Of those three, how would each of them affect this lineup / who would be the most expensive to acquire?
Well, certainly Seiya Suzuki is the most accomplished of the three. I mean, he's batting second in the Cubs lineup now because he's their second best offensive player behind Pete Crow Armstrong, which is why in the end, I will be surprised if they wind up working out a deal. And keep in mind, Seiya Suzuki has a no-trade clause. Like, he can control this process to some degree, and, making a deal for him in the current circumstance, I think it would be really difficult. And the best part of the Cubs team is their everyday lineup. So I think the other names are the ones to focus on. Elliot Ramos of the San Francisco Giants, who's a good offensive player. Taylor Ward is an on-base machine. You could imagine him hitting and leadoff for the Mariners and getting on base, at a 38% clip and helping the offense in that way. But that's why I think Casey Schmidt is really a great fit. To this point, because he's got 4+ years of service time. Giants control him beyond this year. From what I understand, they haven't really dug into it too much yet. They're talking more about their rentals, guys like Luis Arraez. But at some point, I think if you're the Mariners, maybe those conversations get serious because having a guy who can move around and adapt to your needs of the day. Does Colt Emerson get hot? Does J.P. Crawford get hot? Does someone get injured? Casey Schmidt, it probably would be a little bit what they envisioned Brendan Donovan to be when they traded for him, a guy who could, plug holes all over the place.
So push comes to shove, Buster. It'll be the last time we chat with you before the trade deadline a week from Monday. How many new Mariners on the 26-man roster?
2. I think they'll get the right-handed hitter that we've been talking about, and I think they'll add pitching. All these contenders are going to add pitching at some point. But the big thing, and Mike, you made reference to it at the top, that it looked like it was going to be a lackluster market because we just haven't had teams declare themselves to be sellers. Well, that's starting to happen, and I think this year's trade deadline is going to mirror what we saw last year, which is in the last 72 hours, say starting on July 30th, 31st, there are going to be teams that just wave the white flag and say, yep, it's not our year. We're going to move forward, especially among these American League teams. It'll be interesting to see if the Mariners wind up landing one of the New York Mets. They have a deep roster of relievers who are available in the trade market, and the Toronto Blue Jays. Those seem to be two teams that might be a good fit for Seattle in making a move.
Any chance of Adrian Gonzalez?
Stop that, Brock. What is wrong with you? How dare you? That is just not right.
Mike, the joke is on you.
That is just not right,
Mike, the
Brock.
joke is on you.
Hey, more seriously, before we let you go here, Buster, we've been talking about it throughout the week, and we've talked about each of the people that was let go from ESPN, but Karl Ravech is such an enormous name in the baseball community. And all of the years you've spent doing Baseball Tonight, he is synonymous with that show. When I think of Baseball Tonight, I think Karl Ravech, Peter Gammons, Buster Olney, Tim Kirchin, Jason Stark. Like there's just some things I just immediately put together, and he's right at the center of all of it. Just some thoughts on Karl and his impact on you and on ESPN and on baseball.
And we did the game, Karl, Eduardo, myself, David Ross, did the game on Monday night in Philadelphia. And then I had to fly to Chicago the next morning. And I got a text on Tuesday morning, and I was just heartbroken because, I've worked with Karl for 23 years. I met him actually when I was a beat writer covering the Orioles for the Baltimore Sun. And every game that I covered, and I worked, as you say, on Baseball Tonight with him. I worked for years on Sunday Night Baseball with him. Every day, he loves his job. He shows up and he's prepared, and he loves storylines. As a teammate, he's not the Michael Jordan type where I never see the ball. He absolutely shares that. The other night we were having a conversation with Dave Roberts in his office, and we got done. And later, Dave came up to me before the start of that game and said, that was a great rounder, which is his way of, a BS session. In other words, sitting around. Karl's right in the middle of that, right? And that's my experience at ESPN. I have absolutely loved working with him, and if there are future opportunities, I'd love to working with him again.
Yeah. I'll be up in your neck of the woods this weekend, by the way. Montana wedding. Huckleberries out. Everything good? Everything fresh these days?
We are saving the huckleberries for you, okay? There's tons of huckleberries, ice cream. Absolutely. I'm sitting out here now staring at Big Sky out at my window, so it's a beautiful view.
Too. Love it. All right. Thanks, Buster.
Thanks, Buster. Appreciate you.
Okay, guys.
There you go. There's Buster Olney. Perfect to have him here just a week and a half before the trade deadline. A lot to munch on there. Let's do some Blue 88, and at 8 o'clock, we'll come right back to some of the stuff Buster had to say, because there's a lot and really big decisions to be made here for the Mariners. But first, talk some football on the eve of training camp.
This is Brock and Salk's Blue 88. Brought to you by Culligan Seattle.
We're going to go red, right, tight, close, sprint left, G, U corner, halfback, flat, on one. Ready?
Brock Ewart tackles 3 football questions as only he can. Blue 88.
Now here's your hosts, Brock Ewart and Mike Salk.
All right, Brock, let's see. Charbonnet, in all possibility that he is going to be back a whole lot earlier than anybody thought. How great would that be?
Yeah, I heard this sound from Mike Garofalo yesterday, and I co-sign on this. This is what I have heard from some of the folks down there at the VMAC as well. Pretty positive news when it comes to the trajectory of one Zach Charbonnet.
Everybody that I've talked to says that this rehab is going extremely well. You look at the timeline, right? In January, you start to think, a lot of times these tend to be close to a calendar year. Well, that's not going to work if he's going to play in the regular season. And they're not pushing him too hard. But being on the physically unable to perform list, which we did expect, potentially leaves him out through the first 4 weeks of the season. You stay on that, and then you come back anytime after that. And I don't think it's going to be far beyond that if that winds up being the case for him. And plus, he can even start practicing before that 4-week window is up as well.
And every one of these recoveries is different, so I've seen teammates over those 10, 15, 20 years where, holy smokes, I mean, it is just linear, it's on time, and the body responds, the knee responds, and they're raring to go, as Charbonnet would in 9 months. I've seen other teammates where there's scar tissue, where they got to go back in and they got to clean it up, and just the way their body reacts to injury and to surgery, it can be a real bummer. I think, unfortunately, Kenny McIntosh on the other side of that spectrum. You know, his injury was well before Charbonnet's, but his timeline is, I think, going to be later than Zach's is. So all good news. We'll know more in the days and the weeks ahead as we actually get to see him and we get to watch him in the pre-practice work and everything else. But, yeah, right now the news has been very positive, and just the trajectory has been very, very linear.
All right. Question number 2. You know, I always love to try to guess the answers to your questions here. From Russ to Gino to Sam, They all share one trait. What is it?
Come on, you know this.
I think it's obvious. I think it's an obvious answer.
All right.
They throw a good deep ball.
Oh, that's a good answer on the field. Yeah.
They all throw a great deep ball.
I think that is that could absolutely be not even 1A, 1B.
And
that's 1A, 1A.
They all throw pretty well on the run.
That too. Yeah.
Pretty accurate on the run.
Pretty accurate on the run. Yep. I think that those are on the field, absolutely tied together. This is a little more based on just watching this QB documentary and watching how beat up these guys get every year. When you watch all 3 years of it, it was Mahomes' ankle year 1. It's Kirk Cousins' shoulder year 2. It's Baker Mayfield's everything. So if you watch this, it is like it's his bone bruise. It's a bruised shoulder. He's got a lot. He's got a lot going on, and he plays recklessly. Like he literally jacks and darts it.
Yep.
Even at this stage of his career, that's just the way he's going to play. He's got no filter, no governor. Throws his body in harm's way all the time, and is hurt all the time. Those 3 men, Russ, Gino, Sam, tough as you know what. And they do not wear an oversized shoe. And they do not let everybody know all the injuries and all the rehab and all the stuff going on. Maybe Russ did late.
Maybe. A little high knees. Yeah.
I mean, maybe Russ
high knees
did
on the plane.
A little late.
Occasional high knee on the plane.
But that dude on the field was a tough sucker. And all 3 of those guys share that trait.
All right. Question number 3. Talked to Ray about it yesterday. Brock, how big a deal is continuity on the offensive line?
It's a big deal. And Ray went deep into the data world, and those in the data world and the synthesizing data can never touch with the continuity of an O-line and communication and those things that are hard to measure in football. Mike Golick Jr. with Bump and Stacy yesterday, again, speaking that same language of continuity.
That continuity, especially when it's with a group that performs well. Sometimes returning production isn't all it's cracked up to be when you don't have the horses to run. But with Seattle, with a group that I think performed really well last year, provided they're all healthy, I think that continuity for them, for an offensive line coach, goes a long way in just how you solve problems on game day, and then how you can go about taking those and transposing them on other things that come up along the way.
And again, I think this is one of the most challenging areas for the data out there to try to, again, synthesize. So when you have continuity, Salt, And I'll just use a high school example, right? We run an RPO, and Titus has got to bark out a you call, right? Like, and he's telling the back who I want you to block, and he's telling the lineman, don't go downfield. Well, after the 8th time of doing it and scrimmaging these teams, guess what they all know now? Well, I hear a you call, I know it's going to be a pass, right? And I know my safety not to bite on the run fake. So you can't make those calls as loud. So when you're on an O-line, you have continuity. Hey, man, we're going to double team. And they've got to make calls at the line of scrimmage, right? Hey, man, we're going to duo to this. Hey, man, we're going to triple to this. Hey, we got this deuce call. Hey, we got all these calls. Well, those front sevens pick up on those things as well, right? Those guys are keen on everything. They're listening to as much as they can. And when you don't have to, and it can be just a nod, it can be like, we know this, we have this call together. We don't have to keep communicating this because we know each other, exactly what we're going to do, how we're going to react to this stunt. Those are like the nuanced layers of where continuity and time on task come together. And you don't have any tells. You know, just like a defense doesn't have tells. Guess what? When you all play together on the old line for year after year after year, guess what you don't have as well? Tells of communication and pointing and everything. Like, no, we got it.
Just
we all know
know
what we're doing. You just know.
You just know.
You just know. And that pays big, big dividends over the course of a game and a season.
All right, there you go. That is today's Blue 88. Great stuff as always, Brock. All right. Well, we just talked to Buster, and there's a lot in there. A lot on what he thinks the Mariners could and should do at the deadline, and a little bit on some of the decision-making beyond the move yesterday to move on from your assistant hitting coach, Bobby Magallanes. What did I like? What did I not like? There's a lot of both, and it's next on Brock and Salk.
Back on February 8th, the countdown started at 167 days.
3, 2, 1.
Right after the clock showed zeros.
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The champs are back on the field tomorrow when Seahawks training camp begins.
We know that we're target number 1 now.
And nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of the Super Bowl champs. Seattle Sports.
Less than 4 in 10 kids aged 6 through 12 are playing sports regularly. 4 in 10 kids? Let it sink in. Just 4 in 10 kids. ESPN is building a nationwide coalition powered by Disney called Take Back Sports, with the purpose of training more coaches, expanding access, and creating community-driven sports programming that puts kids and fun first. We're working on that story. We hope you'll join us.
Visit takebacksports.org to learn more.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The Boeing Classic welcomes the world's greatest golf legends to the Pacific Northwest, August 14th through the 16th at the Club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Watch Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers compete for a $2.3 million purse at the only PGA Tour champion stop in the region. Bring the whole family and make sure to check out the Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com to get yours today.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we provide top-quality windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and stay clear with low-maintenance glass. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit MuckleshootCasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Your bathroom deserves a refresh. Call it a mid-season upgrade. Dave Wyman here for Fast Home Services, and right now, take advantage of 15% off a tub or shower refresh. Want to upgrade further? Bidet seats install for just $3.99. From leaks to full upgrades, it's the same plumbing expertise you've trusted since 1986. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST to book your free in-home estimate or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds for water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Premium Wireless. How did you get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Ready to relax, unwind, and feel your best? The Spa Warehouse Summer Savings Expo is on now. Enjoy big savings on in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. Hot tubs start as low as $3,999 with savings up to $3,000 on select models. Score incredible deals on in-stock swim spas. Save up to $7,700. Plus, interest-free financing through 2028 on approved credit. The expo ends July 31st. Don't delay. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
Hey, Chuck here at Frank Lumber the Door Store. You know our customers have a lot of fun with trying to figure out new and creative ways to use closeout bifold blanks to fill their needs. They can also be used as small double door units, access doors that are pre-hung, and even bypass doors. And with thousands of closeout bifold blanks in stock in Marysville and at our Bargain Barn, you can put your creative DIY mind to work. Come visit our showroom and Bargain Barn in Shoreline or on Cedar Avenue in Marysville. Also, be sure to check us out online at franklumber.com.
Hey Seattle, Jake Bobo from Techline Roofing. Are you in the market for a new roof? With the strongest workmanship warranty in the business, Techline Roofing has you covered. Take advantage of our easy financing and our summer special. Trust Techline.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Heward and Matt Marcus. Sorry about just Mike.
Heward, not exactly Joe Cat there in the pocket.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Heward and Mike Salk.
All right, I want to go over 3 things we just got from Buster Olney, Brock, and I'll do them in order, not necessarily of importance, but I think in the order in which he brought them up. The first, I guess, is the WBC, and Buster's feeling that a lot of the Mariners' problems, not unlike some of the other people in baseball this year, is that a lot of the stars felt like they never got the right kind of spring training because of their participation in the WBC. Do I believe it? Yeah. I don't not believe it. I don't think all those people are wrong. And obviously there is enough data between all of these different guys that are struggling that I'm sure there's a compelling case to be made.
Mm-hmm.
It's July, July 24th.
Yeah, I mean, you got to draw some through line as best you can. Why Tatis's power is out. Machado can't play anymore. Guerrero hasn't had a home run. The Blue Jays have fallen off a cliff. The Mariners have vastly underperformed, and the Royals have,
Why are the Dodgers
totally
fine?
Tanked.
Why are the Yankees, been fine in some way? Like, I don't know.
I mean, they didn't have as many guys as those aforementioned teams. And every guy is going to be a little bit different. And I kind of tend to be with you. Like, come on, man, we're almost to August. Something in March. But these guys are creatures of habit. And when you take away 6 months of their training,
I get it.
Or 6 weeks of their training and their buildup and their timing and their rhythm and all of it. And we know this. You can't get right in a baseball season.
I guess what I'm saying is this. I'm not
really hard to ever get that back.
I'm not denying that it could be a factor. I just don't want to hear it. I'm not denying that I'm not denying. Yeah, I'm sure it has a role. I'm sure it does. It's a fair argument.
Do OTAs
just
matter
hate it.
to the Seahawks? Do off
I
seasons
know.
matter to guys? If Torrey Horton struggles this year again, are we going to point to, well, he had no off season? Yeah, we probably will. Probably be fair to do that, because that ramp up, that build up, that time, that callousing, that however you want to frame it. And in baseball, the really hard part, and I think Stacy said this to us last week with Cal, a little bit like Luke Raley last year, is it's really hard to fix things in season. Like, you don't have, bye weeks. You don't have 10 days off. You had 3 days off for an all-star
But you
break.
also don't need to install an entire offense and defense and calls. And, you don't have to do any of that stuff. You're right.
You also play the most difficult game of failure.
Absolutely. I get it. I don't know.
know.
It's hard to hear, I guess is what I would say.
All right.
The second one would be on the idea that the Mariners perhaps wanted to get more data understanding and more data from their assistant hitting coach. And I got to tell you, I hear that and it makes my head spin.
Well,
I thought the whole thing is, these guys are giving me too much and we need to simplify it and there's too much data. You're telling me now that Edgar Martinez and Kevin Seitzer are all about, and Dan Wilson are all about give these guys more data? What?
No, but I think he's talking about diversifying that room. That if they're all old school and Seitz and Edgar and Dan are just put the ball in play, just hit in the other gap, that you do need somebody that maybe, and Bobby was more like Seitz in that way and didn't bring the other element to just diversify.
That's not really the way Adam Jude described it. I mean, he sort of talked more about how, the roles were that and I have the sound here. I just have to go find it because I didn't put it on the sheet. That's my fault. But essentially that Seitz is really into the video work and Magallanes is more of the mechanical working with the people stuff.
Okay. Then who's the one that's the real numbers-driven guy? Because that's not Edgar and that's not Dan. Who's the one that can synthesize that information, as Tito talked about, well enough, right, into a bite-sized, I could take that.
Moore's got this on. Take a listen. This is just sort of what Jude said about their different roles.
I mean, Bobby Magallanes had his fingerprints all over this offense, and a really well-liked and respected guy in the clubhouse. I know the players liked him. But it was a pretty close-knit team with the hitting coaches. Bobby Magallanes worked with just about all the guys really closely with Kevin Seitzer. Obviously, they break up sort of the day-to-day duties, right? Kevin Seitzer, I know, is a guy who loves grinding on film, and he's breaking down both of the hitters and of the opposing pitchers that day or the next day. And Bobby, for a lot of these guys was kind of the hitter whisperer. I think he deserves a lot of credit for, Randy Rosarena's breakout this year.
Well, if his fingerprints are all over it, though, and you're the worst hitting team in baseball by many metrics,
right?
Then there's probably going to be cause for.
Sure,
I'm sorry, we got to make change.
But if his fingerprints are all over it, aren't Seitzer's and Edgar's?
Sure,
at least they should be. So I don't know. I'm not going to take that as a.
Yep.
Saying now you got to get more data feels like an admission that whatever the road they went down a couple of years ago.
You know how this goes, as you said. It's just this pendulum's going to swing.
Yep.
The narrative is going to swing both ways.
I know.
That's the way it goes.
I was never comfortable with them getting away from
and
data.
I would argue
so I guess
that maybe,
I'm happy that they're going to go back to more data.
And I would argue that the data also tells you that being an NFL offensive coordinator, even worse than a hitting coach, that those things turn over at about the same rate.
I don't know. Being an offensive coordinator turns over because you get hired to be a coach. Seems like it goes the other way more often than not. All right, the last stuff is about, about the trade deadline. He kind of poo-pooed Miller, not because it's not a great idea, but just because he doesn't think that the Mariners are going to
board with the Mariners there. You're not going to give up Kate or Sloan. You've been on the record. I think we all have.
It's kind of what made me, one idea I had there is one of the challenges with having great prospects is that everybody asks for them.
Sure.
And then when you're like, well, I'm not going to give you that, but I'll give you my third-rated prospect, and they're like, whatever.
But I thought they managed this very, very well. These 10 days before the trade deadline last year, and the whole Gino Suarez and where that started with Gino and where it ended up, we were like, what?
Right.
How did they only give up that? Yeah, I'm sure A.J. Preller right now is like, yeah, Kate or Sloan. Don't even call unless it's Kate or Sloan.
Yeah, but A.J. doesn't need to trade Mason Miller.
He does not need to, but if they
trade
continue
him at all.
If they continue to somewhat.
But they're going to be good again next year. Probably. I mean, they're not
going to be another year older.
I get it,
He's
but
going to be another year older.
There's a decent chance they're going to be good again next year, and he has Mason Miller for the next 3. I'm sure he'd like to trade him because he can really, do a lot to help his team.
Morahone?
He doesn't need to trade Mason Miller. He probably needs to trade Morahone because there's no value there for him next year. So I don't know, and I like Morahone, so I'd be super happy to get him here, but it's obviously nothing compared to what you get with Mason Miller. So, yeah, I get it. He's going to ask for the moon, and you've got to hold firm and not give him the moon. But I would certainly, and I thought Buster made a good point about Michael King being a big part of the return for Juan Soto. Okay, George Kirby, if he fits that bill, that is absolutely the direction.
Right? George been an all-star. George put up better numbers than I think King did at that point, at that time when he was traded to the Padres.
Well, I would absolutely be pushing that to them if possible. Yeah. I think that is a fair trade for both sides in some way. Obviously, you probably have to give up a little more, but I think there's a lot of fairness to the base of that trade. Yeah. And I would be.
Well, the Schmidt guy is the one. When we chatted with Passon a couple weeks ago, and I said, a little project for you. Find me a young, controllable right-handed bat. It can be a borderline, maybe an italic I. He's not a little lowercase I. He's not an uppercase I for impact. Maybe he's in between that. And there wasn't that guy until this Schmidt character kind of showed up on the scene. And with the first half that he's had, plus the power he's had, the versatility he's had, the right-handed bat, all of those things.
Brock, you're going to have to prove to me. Somebody's going to have to prove to me that Casey Schmidt. Look, it's all about the what you give back. The Jim Bowden idea of giving up George Kirby and that. It's just like that is absurd. This guy's had half of a good season.
Yep.
And he's got some club control, so there's some value moving forward. He's probably most analogous to Emerson Hancock. That's a deal that I'm willing to have some. Yeah, I'm a lot more willing to have that conversation, sure. And we've heard over the last few days that Emerson Hancock might be available, which would make sense. I mean, again, breakout this year, but he's only done it for half a year. There's not a lot of proof there that this is going to work forever, which is not unlike Casey Schmidt. Both guys have some club control. Both have some versatility. Neither guy is a star. Both guys have value to an organization. And both guys, you're taking a bit of a risk that what you've seen in the first couple of months of this year is going to continue for the next few years. That, to me, has some fairness. George Kirby is giving away an asset that Casey Schmidt's just not enough to get back for that.
I would agree.
But I'm intrigued by that idea. All right.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Okay, yeah.
You like Huckleberry?
Yeah. Who doesn't?
You liked it last year at the wedding.
I like it everywhere. When I go to Montana, as soon as you drive in on I-90, the first thing you do is pull over at that giant sign for Huckleberries and get yourself a milkshake. I'm not crazy. G. Scott's in 20 minutes. We'll give you everything you need to know next.
Seattle Sports, home of Bumpin' Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
Safety Nick and Manwari on PUP to begin training camp. One thing I want to say about preseason PUP is it is not the PUP list to miss time during the season.
It could be something real simple. And they're like, all right, he's already in good shape. He's been to all of our stuff. It's not like he's going to get lots of reps during the preseason games. I'm hoping it's just being really, really cautious when it comes to Nick and Manwari.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Do you have a special occasion or milestone to commemorate? Come discover Klein Jewelers in charming downtown Edmonds. As a locally owned family jeweler, we combine an impressively large selection with the warm personal service only a hometown jeweler can provide. Whether you're searching for the perfect engagement ring or a beautiful piece of diamond or gemstone jewelry, you'll find plenty to love and no pressure along the way. From life's biggest milestones to those just because moments. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. You're a jeweler for life.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
Hey, baseball fans, Rick Riz here. I'm excited to introduce you to my good friend Keith Dashafee, owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Keith?
Thanks, Rick. At Pella Windows and Doors, we pride ourselves on delivering top-quality windows and doors that enhance the beauty and energy efficiency of your home. Our products are built to last with innovative designs and exceptional craftsmanship. Whether you're looking to upgrade your windows or install new doors, Pella has you covered.
That's fantastic, Keith. Don't wait. Schedule your free appointment today at PellaPNW.com.
Imagine Wi-Fi so intelligent it can actually fix itself. That means when there's a problem, it doesn't slow you down. It keeps your streaming smooth, your gaming lag-free, and your work from home right on track. Well, this is Wi-Fi built for the way you live, powered by a fiber network with 99.999% reliability, delivering incredible speed and strong, consistent coverage in every corner of your home, even those hard-to-reach spots. And it's just not fast. It's secure. Think of it as a security blanket for your entire network, keeping everything connected and working together seamlessly. And here's the best part. You can lock in 5 full years of predictable pricing. No contracts, no surprises, just one simple plan that includes everything: data, equipment, and the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi. Plus, you can get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi installation. Comcast. Imagine that. Restrictions do apply. Select plans only, but make the call today to 1-800-XFINITY.
Join the Mariners at T-Mobile Park August 7th to 9th for 50 Season Celebration Weekend. Friday, post-game, catch the Alumni Home Run Derby featuring Ichiro and other former Mariners sluggers. Presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort. On Saturday, arrive early to witness the greatest gathering of Mariner legends in franchise history. And Sunday, score a collectible 50 Seasons pin thanks to KeyBank.
It just continues.
Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Compassion, communication, results. That's Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. That's pendergastlaw.com.
This summer, there are 250 reasons to join T-Mobile.
Girls trip? Booked. And switching to T-Mobile helped make it happen.
With Experience Beyond, switch and get $100 back. Plus, $650 in value in built-in plan benefits. That's $750 in your first year, guaranteed.
And honestly, that $100 back, I'm putting it towards the zip line.
Now that's how you do summer.
Exactly. Best switch I ever made.
This is just one reason to join T-Mobile this summer. There are 250 reasons. Find yours.
Savings based on the value of benefits included with Experience Beyond, like entertainment and 1 year of AAA Classic and Dash Pass on us. Benefits may require activation. See plan for details. Get $100 via virtual prepaid MasterCard with eligible ported, no cash access, and expires in 6 months. Issued by Sunrise Banks and a member FDIC. Allow 8 weeks.
America's favorite car show returns to Puyallup. Cruise on out for the good guys' 38th Griot's Garage Pacific Northwest National. 3 huge days with over 3,000 classics from across the country. Check out the indoor car show and special areas. Vendor Midway Automotive Swap Meet, live music, Saturday night twilight cruising, and more. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center. Details at good-guys.com.
Hi, Chef John Howie here. At Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue, we've been serving the East Side for more than 24 years. We love serving our guests and creating wonderful memories. We also love serving the community, from local schools to amazing organizations like Hope Link, the American Cancer Society, Bellevue LifeSpring, and so many more. I want to thank you, our guests, for supporting Sea Star all these years, making it possible for us to serve and help those in need. Thank you. SeaStarRestaurant.com.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Training camp, man. It is training camp time. Seahawks veterans reporting today in Renton. Will there be drama? Hopefully not, although I'm sure HBO Hard Knocks will be there looking for it. They are behind the scenes, going deep every day for the next few weeks, which should be fun to see what that looks like when it makes its way onto the big screen. Seahawks according to Ian Rappaport, are probably looking in the $32 million a year range for Devin Witherspoon, and hopefully that deal gets done to make him the highest paid corner in the game for a day or two until Christian Gonzalez ends up beating it. Zach Charbonnet, Brock, we've talked about this a few times. I think it's great news for Mike Garafolo.
Everybody that I've talked to says that this rehab is going extremely well. You look at the timeline, right? In January, you start to think, a lot of times these tend to be close to a calendar year. Well, that's not going to work if he's going to play in the regular season. And they're not pushing him too hard. But being on the physically unable to perform list, which we did expect, potentially leaves him out through the first 4 weeks of the season. You stay on that, and then you come back anytime after that. And I don't think it's going to be far beyond that if that winds up being the case for him. And plus, he can even start practicing before that 4-week window is up as well.
That's right. And then it's going to just all be about how the body responds, because you can do all the training you want, right? But there is nothing that gets you ready to play football than playing football. And the cuts and the movement and the confidence and the trust and all that stuff that he has. And I would say the other news, Salk, and you did not mention this last hour, you make anything of the Bloomberg News report about the new ownership group?
No.
Taking
not
on
really.
some private equity.
Nope.
Taking on a capital partner with some connection locally.
Nope.
And that Pops is not going to be involved, it sounds like. Going to be a lot more about mom and son.
Yeah, I mean,
Neil.
we've heard that quite a bit. The private equity is limited in the NFL to, what is it, a 10%
max, yeah.
Huh?
I think that's
10%
the
max, but also it's got to be passive, meaning they can't pull the private equity stuff. You can't jump in and say, hey, we'll take 10% in exchange for this level of control, and we want to rent this to you and do this. Like, you can't do any of that. The NFL safeguarded it. So, no, to me, that's just capital. It doesn't have much of an effect on my thinking on how this whole thing goes.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
All right, Mariners, huge road trip. Almost impossible to exaggerate how big this is. Jake Peavy on yesterday.
If I'm in Seattle, I'm not in any way calling this a lost season. You are all in, and we just got to get hot. And the answers are in the room. It's, can this offense pick it up, and can this bullpen, sustain getting the ball to Munoz, and can he be as reliable as he has been?
Pretty simple. The answers are in the room.
They are, but you do need a couple reinforcements.
Sure. Both things can be true. You can get some reinforcements, but the answers are
What's
in the room.
Donovan been doing, by the way? Have you taken a peek at any of his stuff
You know
lately?
what? I forgot. I had been looking at it, and then I meant to look at it last night, and then
No worries. No worries.
I ended up
You're
getting...
just watching boxing videos.
I was watching boxing videos with Cecily, and we were downstairs shooting in the basement a little bit, working on our stick handling.
No, I get it. Marv's got a lot of work to do. You're balancing.
She says to me last night, she's like, Dad, I don't want to shoot tonight. I was like, well, you should. And she's like, okay, but I don't want to. I was like, okay, you're live. And she's like, well, but I want you to make me do it. I was like, what? She's like, well, I don't want to do it, but I want you to make me because I know I should.
So, over the years, Salk, we've gotten each other different things.
Yeah.
Right? You gave me the autographed jersey.
You give me a whip, and I'm going to be very upset with you.
I gave you the Beast Mode jacket that you wouldn't ever wear. I got to figure out something.
A whistle?
That you put on when you're training Cecily.
Yes. Like a maybe
like a
the
stocking,
shorts that the guy that Coach Dan is wearing in
Mick,
Wildcats.
That Rockies trainer Mick wore, that old stocking cap, maybe with your name embroidered.
That'd be pretty good. Thank you. No, I'd appreciate that. That'd be great.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
I am kind of high on the idea of trying to trade for Mason Miller. More from Jake Peavy here, who was on yesterday with Bump and Stacy.
I'll tell you this, there's conversations already been had. You're a general manager up there and my general manager in San Diego. I don't know any more who likes to transact in the game. And so, conversations have been out there for needs. The Padres are in a weird situation, lose again today already in Atlanta to drop 3 or 4 there. They're on the brink of having to make a decision. Do you unload Morihone, Michael King, who is free agents, but then Mason Miller, obviously is the big name and the big carrot and fish on the market. So, yes, there's certainly conversations already have to had. I can tell you this, when it's Mason Miller and Morihone and Michael King's name, you're talking to every team in the league because they also think they're a fit for any of those 3 names.
By the way, I love Jake Peavy as a player. He's such a fun pitcher.
He was fun. He's a bulldog.
Really, really fun pitcher to watch.
That's everything you need to know. Quick little assignment before G. Scott pops in. Quick little assignment, just off the top of your head.
Okay.
Right now.
Yeah.
We do these most irreplaceable Seahawks.
Yeah.
You're going to come up with your what is your list of Seahawks we come up with?
Oh, the most intriguing?
Most intriguing
For sure.
list. Give me your 1 through 5 of untouchable Mariners in this trade deadline over the next 10 days. Of the ones that I'm just sorry, this is an untouchable. There is no move out there that I'm making to trade this piece of my entire system.
So, like, you're not including, like, Cal and Julio and those guys, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, those contracts kind of encumber the conversation.
I mean, you're not trading Cal, you're not trading Julio. So,
Okay.
I'm going to take those off.
Yep.
It's Colt Emerson. It's... I mean, it's Cade and it's Sloan.
Yep.
That's it.
Cole Young.
No.
He could be a major piece in it.
I mean, obviously, it's all commensurate with what you get back. I mean,
Right.
like, I'm not trading Cole Young for a rental, but, like, it's commensurate with what you get back. I don't know what you're talking about in a deal like that. Even Colt Emerson, I mean, I guess I'm thinking about it, and in the right deal would have to be absolutely perfect, but I can't imagine that happening. But no, I don't really think, I mean, again, I'm not trading Las Montes to get back Jorge Polanco as the morons in New York wanted, but, like, you know, I'm willing to think about Laz, of course. Why not?
Yeah, it kind of feels, honestly, like Cade and Sloan.
Depends what there is and how much club control you get back and all that stuff. The one thing I did want to address, I got a text earlier here that said, Mike, is pitching really the problem to solve? No, but I don't accept the premise of the question. It's not about trying to solve a problem. It's about trying to create a better roster. If you can't solve the hitting problem well enough, then get better at something else.
Yeah, you're not solving for X. You're solving for Y.
That's right. Like, yeah, you're right. Of course, the hitting is worse than the pitching. I'm not blind. But if you got an opportunity to make your pitching dominant and
minimize maybe some of your hitting, and by making it a 5-inning or 6-inning
your
game.
hitting should get better. The thing about the hitting is the biggest thing is Cal, Julio, and Naylor. That's what should help the hitting more. Oh, you want to replace Dom Canzone? He's been your best hitter. You want to replace Randy Arozarena? He's been your other best hitter. Like, the areas where you're going to try to replace are, like, they're actually going pretty well. Can you add? Of course you can. Would Taylor Ward help? Yes. Would Casey Schmidt? Sure. Yes, of course. Do I think that they add as much to a team as Mason Miller? No, of course not, which is why you don't have to give up as much to get them. So, yeah, I
What does G. Scott add on Fridays?
What does he add?
Yeah, what's he add?
Usually nothing, I would say. Usually a relationship analogy or two and, a lot of hot air. But other than that, it's fun to have him in. Maybe some entertainment. G will be in next on Brock and Salk.
Seattle Sports, home of Wyman and Bob.
Cole Young, I mean, he just comes up clutch.
Afternoons 2 to 7.
Game's on the line. Say you're tied, 2 outs. Who do you want up at the plate right now? At this very moment after 100 games, who do you trust the most up there? For a young guy in his first full season, he's had some big moments already.
Cole Young's only 22, so it's really exciting for the future.
And by the way, the only player on this roster to play every single game.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Highlights don't win games. The full box score does. I'm Brock Heward, and most business leaders aren't short on data. They're short on clarity. Numbers are scattered across ERP, CRMs, and spreadsheets, making decisions reactive instead of confident. And that's not how great businesses are built. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view, even if it lives in disconnected systems or offline, so you can see what's really happening and act faster. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to see what Marquee IQ can do.
When it comes to my policy, Farmers gives it to me straight, so there's no surprises.
It's your coverage. You should never be confused.
You hear that? An insurance provider with a conscience.
We're a choir, but yes, we have that too.
Straightforward coverage you can literally understand. That's what you get when
you have Farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Do you have stiff laundry or scale buildup on your sinks and showers? Those are classic signs of hard water. At Culligan, they deliver softer, cleaner water throughout your entire home. A Culligan water softener removes the hardness from your water and extends the life of your appliances. Plus, it can improve the quality of your skin and hair. Ask about 12-month, no payment, no interest financing too. Go to Culligan.com. That's Culligan.com. Contaminants or impurities may not be in your water.
A Wilt Chamberlain 1972 playoff game-worn jacket was recently bought for $3 at a Goodwill in Portland. You may not be sitting on a warm-up jacket worn by Wilt the Stilt, but there's serious value to your old gold, jewelry, watches, silver, and coins. Dave Wyman encouraging you to see what they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Linwood. They'll give you an honest, no-pressure assessment for free. See how much they're worth at Bellevue Rare Coins, and if the price is right, cash in.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
Every summer, homeowners wait too long to find a house painter. There are only a few months left of good weather. Don't be the one left out in the rain. All Covered Painting is accepting a limited number of exterior projects this summer. If you want a licensed contractor that does the work right and backs it up with an industry-leading warranty, don't wait. Now offering a complimentary color consultation with a designer for specific projects. Get your free estimate at allcoveredpainting.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Progressive knows you've got plenty of things to worry about.
What time does the kids' practice end? How long has that check engine light been on? Are takeout containers microwave safe?
So the last thing you should have to worry about is what to do if something unexpected happens on the road. That's why if you're ever in a major accident, Progressive's accident response can detect it and send help. It's just one less thing to worry about.
How long does chicken last in the fridge?
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Limited availability in California. Driver is responsible for emergency and towing charges not covered by the policy.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com. Or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
So much better, G, to have this on Friday. The last couple Thursdays, it just hasn't felt quite right.
Right.
It just hasn't felt quite right.
Yeah.
But it's Friday. It's
Friday.
8:30.
What's happening?
And G. Scott's in the building.
Oh, breaking news, Salk. Breaking
news.
Breaking news.
Hold on.
Breaking
Yes.
news.
Yes.
LeBron James is signing. The deal is done.
Rams? Is he going to the Rams?
LeBron is joining Aaron Donald in the Rams.
Wow. What incredible news.
Uh-huh. Yeah, 2-year, $8 million deal with the Philadelphia 76ers.
Really?
Oh, the nation's just nightmare is finally over. Where is LeBron going to
Oh, that poor Miami staffer lost their job, and he didn't even sign there.
I know. I was really hoping it was going to be Miami just for that guy.
Yeah,
that's
no.
too bad.
Is that real news, or are you serious?
That's real news.
Are you sure that's not NBA Centel?
And he's going to Philly.
Philly, 2 years. Philly.
Wow.
I mean, he brought a title to Miami. He brought a title back to Cleveland. He brought a title to L.A. I mean, bring a title back to Philly. Dr. J, right? It's been early 80s, 40 years.
83, I think, is the last time they won, I want to say. 1983.
The Knicks in the 70s, the Sixers.
Mo Cheeks, I believe, on that team. Andrew Toney, Moses Malone, Dr. J.
Shorts.
I just want to say.
It's a pretty good team.
Shorts.
Mo Cheeks.
Mo Cheeks?
Mo Cheeks.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't know that his name was actually fitting of those shorts he wore.
Maurice Cheeks.
We didn't realize, but today when you say Mo Cheeks, when you get a chance and you're hanging around some kids, like, hey, you ever watch Mo Cheeks? Go look him up. And you see Mo Cheeks coming down. Like,
I know, but think about what that's going to do to your algorithm after that. Like, you look up Mo Cheeks, and then your whole algorithm is going to get messed up.
Brock, you ever get your algorithm messed up, bruh?
I was telling Salk the other day, like, man, these algorithms are strong. I watched one fishing video, and now I've got 52 fishing videos. And Salk, would this surprise you, G? Salk, only what's on your Twitter? What do you have as your little deal? Like, you only have for your followers. You don't even.
I mean, you have an option at the top on Twitter where you can do For You or you can do following.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I do For You.
Oh, really?
I do too.
I do For
No
You.
way. Absolutely no way. No chance.
For you.
I don't want what's for me. I want what I've chosen. Why do I want them to choose what's for me? I've already chosen what I want.
You're just a
surprises
stubborn
me zero.
dude.
Doesn't that surprise? That surprises you zero, right,
It
G?
doesn't surprise me
The
at all.
problem is that I read what's in For You and then I get mad. I'm not looking to get mad more often.
We don't want you mad. You know,
That's why I read the people that I've carefully cultivated.
We want Mike Salk after 7 p.m.
Why would you go to
That one does For You.
I can't even imagine why you would go to For You. Like, what would be like?
And by
It
the way,
broadens the scope. It
I just want to
educates you
say,
in new and unique ways.
I just want to say, both of y'all lying
the
about your
opposite.
algorithm. Y'all trying to act like y'all got some real clean algorithms. I know Brock and Salk. One thing about the cell phone.
Or
Nobody knows you better than your cell phone.
What is in your algorithm? What are you getting in your algorithm?
Food.
Okay, same.
Restaurants.
Same.
And workout plans.
Okay.
Now, I told you yesterday, if we really want to keep it a buck, about a year and a half ago, I must have looked up Mo Cheeks or something. Because, man.
Mo Cheeks, by the way, 15-year career in the NBA.
He played 15 years.
15 years in the NBA as a point guard. Pretty good year. Pretty good career. 78 to 93, Mo Cheeks played in the NBA. Pretty impressive. What's in? That's it? That's all that's in your algorithm?
That's it.
Seahawks? No football, sports, any of that?
Yeah,
a little.
Yeah.
Brock, what's in your algorithm?
Oh, I got a lot. I got a lot of Mariner stuff. I got Shefty. I got every Mariner.
That's your Twitter algorithm, though.
That's my Twitter.
Oh, okay.
You're not on IG, are you?
No.
See, that's the more interesting algorithm. That's where that's
Twitter
that's where I want the for me. I want
Yeah.
Instagram to find stuff for me.
Yeah.
Twitter, I've already got. I'm following 2,000 people or whatever. Like that's what I want. I'm fine.
If I'm gonna keep it a buck on X, it's a lot of but my For You, they be messing with me. You know what I'm saying? They be messing with me. Man, let me just say, some of those barbecues I should not go to.
Really?
No.
That's why I don't go there.
Not my For You on X. For You on Instagram is different than your For You on X. That For You on X, ooh.
For You on, I will just say, and without making this is going to end up sounding political, but it's not.
Nick Bosa and all kinds of stuff on
For You
Yous.
on Instagram feels cultivated by your algorithm to give you stuff that you already want.
Yes.
For You on X feels like it's been cultivated by somebody else in order to make you mad and to get you to react.
Yes.
That's what I don't want in my life. For You on Instagram, I'm all in.
You know what?
For You on Twitter, get the heck out of here.
You know what? Now, that is fair. I apologize to Mike Salk. We should have made a very distinction between For You on X and For You on IG.
For You on IG is great. I get Frenchie dogs. I get food and restaurants and Vegas recommendations like the one you gave me the other day. I get hockey drills, Brock, so I can help Cecily. You know, I get I get golf advice, which doesn't help me at all.
Yeah.
Like that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for there. I don't need it.
All right, G, we're on the precipice. We're on the day before. The boys are all in today.
They get the physicals today, baby.
That's right.
Cough, turn to the side.
Yes, all that good stuff.
What's up?
What are you hearing? What are you feeling with this crew reporting Super Bowl champs running it forward? What are you hearing and feeling?
My guy George Halani pulled up on me yesterday. We sat down, talked for about 30 minutes or so. Just what a super good guy. He talked about his trip to New Zealand, he and his wife. You know, he grew up, he went over there and got to see his grandma for the first time in 23 years.
Cool.
And she was in tears seeing him. She kept hugging him for like 20 minutes, and he had his meta glasses on because he wanted to capture the entire thing and everything. And, of course, his wife is in the Lord of the Rings, and so for about 5 minutes he was speaking to me about hobbits and Lords of the Rings and all that.
His wife is in the Lord of the Rings?
She's into it.
Oh, into it. I thought you said she was
into
it.
And then all the, I guess there's some Hobbit stuff that goes on.
There's a ton. We were there a few years ago.
Yeah.
There's a ton, because a lot of it was shot there.
Yeah, And then I finally, when he was done talking, I said, hey, man, I ain't never seen none of that.
Oh, really?
So, what am I hearing? I'm hearing, I heard that song. I think I'm hearing exactly what every fan, and if you're into Seahawks, I think we're all hearing the same thing. They're locked in. They're locked in not just, obviously, tomorrow when everything starts and everybody goes to training camp, but they've been locked in on all off season. What story has anybody heard about the Seattle Seahawks? You don't hear any negativity. Everybody knows what the point is. You're going into year 3 of Mike Macdonald in year 3. I mean, he won it in year 2, and so who all knows what's going to happen right now. So I think, Brock, I'm hearing no different than what everybody else is hearing. You're hearing a team that's locked in. You're hearing about a Mike Macdonald and John Schneider being the new movie of Step Brothers, because I swear I ain't seen John Schneider without Mike Macdonald. I ain't seen Mike Macdonald without John Schneider all offseason. Them dudes about to, matter of fact, somebody smart out there, the AI, put Step Brothers, Mike Macdonald and John Schneider right now. Those are the new Step Brothers. Can y'all not, why y'all with each other all the time? Like John Schneider looks younger these days too. I just want to say that. Dude looks young now. He look like he's just having fun. That's all I got.
When G. Scott is driving home.
Yeah.
I know what your formula. You're driving by. Maybe even sometimes you drive by the VMAC on your way home.
Yeah.
Go that way. How is G. Scott formulating a plan to find himself on Hard Knocks? Because I know you've spent. Yes, we've kind of hinted at it. We talked last week, just like at Radio Row, he's going to find a way.
Brock's only saying this because he's already been on Hard Knocks now, because he was in the promo where they
it's old news for me.
Some Brock sound
I've been there, done that.
Put it right in the promo. So he's just he's only asking this as a humble brag. So you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. But this is
here's the thing I love about you.
Just a Brock humble brag, really, more than anything else.
One thing that you do, you and Mike do very well. You guys know how to ask questions to just prod.
This organization knows success.
See, there's Brock right in the promo.
Already been there, done that.
So you would think, the thing is, Brock, you asked that question because you know me very well.
Yes, I do.
You know that
shameless self-promoter.
I know. By the way, somebody called me that, and I got to say, if you don't promote yourself, who you counting on to promote you? Anyways, so Brock, you got me.
Yes, G.
I have been thinking about it. I have. And so, what is my plan?
Yeah.
What is your plan? My only plan is this. So, I think on Tuesday, I'm emceeing, hosting training camp over there. So I'm like, that won't happen. However, August 10th, they got a change of command deal for the military that they're doing. And so I do that every single year. I've done that. And so that's going to be, this time is going to be, usually is at one of the bases, right? It's usually whether it's JBLM, sometimes Coast Guard, all that kind of stuff. But this year it's going to be over at the Virginia Mesa Athletic Center. So I was thinking, hey, when I get ready to open up and talk, I better make some real good words. So hey, Brock, that's my plan. I gotta say something real good and smooth to where they got the cameras. They say, hey, you know what? We can't edit that out.
Is it going to be
that
like a scene setting type of a thing? Because, sometimes they need that B-roll to set a scene, right?
Well, look here.
It's day one. Like that type of stuff where you're kind of setting the scene of what's happening.
Well, hopefully they look at me and they say, hey, man, we got to fill our quota. We got to put the brother on there.
You think that's a problem on Hard Knocks?
No.
Well, for the civilian.
Oh, okay.
For the civilian. Not for
how
the,
much
not for the player.
How much you gonna be buttering up Diamond Dave Pearson? Because he's got final say editing. Him and NASA.
He could edit you right out of that. Like, don't put you
He could edit
there.
you in. He could edit you out.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's got a pretty strong hand in that thing.
There's just going to be like one of those pixelated faces and like a voice modulator. As you hear, don't get to see G because Dave Pearson nixed him.
Let me be very clear, because I know Dave or somebody that's connected to Dave is already listening. I did not bring your name up, player. That was not me. That was straight Brock.
Dave is going to take you straight out of Hard Knocks.
So, G, I heard you. Nah, bro, that was Brock. Brock brought your name up, man. I ain't got nothing. Dave Pearson, man. Don't nobody want that smoke.
I do have one other Seahawks thing I want to get to. Quickly, we were talking to Ray about it yesterday. We've talked to Buster.
Was Ray in a good mood when y'all talked to him? Because, man, hey, Ray Roberts, if you listening right now, you need to show people how happy you can be in real life. Because when you on that dang on X, you be mad, Ray. Ray be mad.
The thing is, he was mad yesterday, too, but it didn't come off as mad because he's Ray, and it was fun.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Brock, if you guys ever got on X and you said something on Brock and Salk, and then you look on X, well, you should have said this. Like, damn, Ray, why you so dang on mad? By the way, have y'all seen Ray lately? That dude looks
so good.
Amazing.
I know.
That dude's got, he looks fantastic.
And he's
Shout
hilarious,
out to you,
man. He is hilarious.
Oh, he's hilarious. He's the most lovable dude in the world, except for when he's on X. He be mad as hell.
He's a little up in arms about the ESPN stuff. And then I was Linda Cohn. I don't know if you saw any of her stuff on it today, Brock. It was pretty good. She's like, look, they screwed up the Ryan Clark thing. They should have done it differently. And the biggest problem with it isn't just that it was unfair to Ryan Clark, but it was unfair to everybody else, because then the media focused on the ridiculousness of the Ryan Clark firing and the way it went down, and people like Carl Ravitch and all the others who were let go at the same time, Stephania Bell, didn't even get as much of a conversation or a tribute because everyone was so focused on the ridiculous, firing practice and how it went. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it's a whole lot going on. Y'all know Boss Lady? Man, Boss Lady, top boss up there. Like, usually once a week I go by and just say hi to her. I pulled up on Boss Lady. I pulled up on Boss Lady the other day, and the first thing she said, guess what the first thing she said, y'all? She said, so, G, what do you think about Ryan Clark? Oh, Lord.
No.
Oh, man. Yeah. Hey, look here. As soon as I was done, I went down to check my key card.
Who? Ryan who?
Why would the top boss lady ask me?
Oh, geez.
So, G, what do you think about Ryan Clark? Oh,
were you looking for Marin over her shoulder? Marin
I said, man, dead man walking. I'm in trouble. Boss lady asking me about Ryan Clark. Oh, no, boss lady.
Dan Orlovsky, whatever you may think of Dan, has this tweet today, and I thought you guys would both find this interesting.
Yeah.
The markings of the best teams in the NFL going into 2026 wasn't the case necessarily 2020 to 24. 1, dominant defensive line. Put the Seahawks in that category?
Yes.
I would hope. 2, ability and willingness to run the football 25-plus times a game.
Don't know.
Right?
But nobody can say they know that.
That's true. The willingness, I would hope, is still there because it was there last year, but we don't know. That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you hire a guy as the run game coordinator from San Francisco unless you've got a strong lean of the way you want that done.
I think lean is the right word. Gee, I think you guys are both right. Gee, I think you're right. We don't know the answer to that.
I've been married before, and y'all have seen people get married. All kind of promises happen there at the altar.
We don't
get married, all of a sudden y'all stop dating.
We don't know they're going to have a dominant defensive line either. It was last year, but we don't know that it's going to dominate again.
But this dude's encodings are tight ends coach and defensive guy and run game coordinator.
I would lean towards believing that they will have the ability and willingness to run the football 25 times a game. I don't know that it's going to happen. You're right. But I'd lean in that direction. Number 3, explosive passing game off play action.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason to expect they won't have that, right? They sure did last year.
When you said explosive, I was
just worried about that.
Explosive dialogue. Explosive dialogue.
Dialogue?
Yeah.
You get 50, bro. You said it. But back to the offense. Yeah. So the offense,
Explosive
for sure.
pass game? Off action pass. What's
Explosive
wrong with
Shaheed.
Oh, my gosh. Are you guys done? The maturity level. Maura, the maturity level here is sad.
Seriously, explosive Shaheed? No, explosive Shaheed coming back?
I have eaten more salads the last 2 weeks. I'm trying to find that salad. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find that salad. Like, where you at, man? I need to drop 30 pounds.
Well, your guys, as I've been going back and watching all the games from last year, and we're going to go through week 5 next here at 9 o'clock. I've been going back and watching the highlights of each game, and we're kind of going through with 5-10 minutes each show on one game.
Yeah.
There are a lot of explosive passes to JSN, man. They threw a lot of deep balls to JSN. So I would expect that to still be a big part of their game.
Is he the best in the world?
Hey, the best you know how that guy gave me the best in the world 62-degree wedge? It says best in the world engraved on it.
Oh, that's right.
Chipped in for birdie with that sucker yesterday.
That's right.
Chipped in for birdie.
Did you tell the people about that?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's a good omen.
Number 4.
Yeah.
The quarterback has to excel throwing the ball downfield in chunks. I mean, that is definitely true of this offense and what Sam does best. And then finally, 5, position versatility on offense and defense.
Yeah.
The Seahawks have that with the tight ends they've got and a guy like Rashid Shaheed, JSN who can move around to different wide receiver spots, and we know what they do defensively. Like, to me, these 5 things, you're right, G, we don't know for sure about 2. But, gosh, all 5 of them sure seem to fit directly into who the Seahawks are.
Well, first of all, I just want to give a shout out to because I saw a list that just came out and they did not have A.J. Barner as a top 10 tight end. And I think A.J. Barner, I'm not just saying this because he's a Super Bowl champion. He is one of the most underrated tight ends in the game of football. Everybody wants to talk about the names. Man, like Brock would say, you just put on the tape and watch that. That's number 1. Number 2, Brock, I'm curious about this as a quarterback. And what you saw at the end of last season, watching Sam Darnold having K9, Kenneth Walker III, who, by the way, who was incredible at the end of that season. Can you tell us, does Sam Darnold need that type of production to be what he was? Because everybody wants the Sam Darnold that we saw when he went toe-to-toe with Matthew Stafford in an NFC Championship game. I think the Seahawks are going to need that Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I think what's been instructive about this exercise we're doing on the daily, leading up to the first preseason game, going through the 20 games last year, I think it's been super instructive in the fact that, man, they were showing all of that before that final run. Like, the seeds were planted, it was blooming, it was going, and then it obviously flowered at just the right time. Mm-hmm. But go back, look at the number of explosives when K9 wasn't necessarily going really well early in the year. That's when JSN was hundo, on pace for 2,000 yards, right? And it was Charbonnet, and it was K9, and it was that combination. But it was their commitment to the run, I would say that. To just point-blank answer it, like Clint Kubiak was committed coming off of the year before, and the coordinator the year before, like, nope, I'm going to commit to this. And even if it's not great, even if there's a lot of zero runs and lack of production, we're going to get our carries because it's going to set the table for JSN in space.
Then I got to imagine that's part of the interview process. They didn't have time to do that with Ryan Grubb. They obviously said about making it happen last year.
Yep.
I got to imagine that's part of the interview process that eventually leads you to Fleury. So, gee, while I'm with you, we don't know yet whether or not they can do that. I think they're going to sure try.
I mean, I
sure think they're going to try.
If there's one thing I know the show, Brock and Salk, when they sit down with Mike McDonald, because they are the show that sits down with him, my man's going to answer that in less than 17 seconds. Mike McDonald will answer that question about the commitment.
You don't think there's going to be a 17-second pause before he answers that question?
Love Mike, man.
I think you'll have some serious explosive dialogue about that and the importance of running the ball.
What is wrong with you guys?
What is wrong?
You guys are both very immature.
Brock, real quick, did you say hundo? No, I know. When you were around your partners, they don't be saying hundo.
We keep it a hundo.
I know y'all don't say hundo.
He might be getting that from the kids, though.
Gee, I'm coaching high school kids. I got it all in my back pocket.
Do you guys listen to the way your kids talk these days? Like some of the slang?
Bet.
Like, I'm just like, first of all, they be saying stuff like, look, first of all, we had that in the 80s and 90s. Like, don't act like bet is one of them. But there's a lot of these things these kids be saying. Whew. Like, man, I'm old.
What's wrong with you, Saul? You're
I don't know. I got a little pinched nerve thing.
A little stinger?
Very uncomfortable.
Hey, by the way, man.
Very uncomfortable, yes.
Hey,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm having an issue.
Yeah, you have an issue. Don't worry, Martin's not coming. Hey, you look good, Salk. I just realized that. You lost some pounds. You look slim, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah. What does Heather think about this newfound sexy man?
I don't think she's noticed. Yeah. She doesn't think much. She's thought about sending me to and from the house to downtown 5 different times today to drive kids around.
Gee, we had Charles on yesterday. Charles running the board yesterday. And one of the texts came in and said, Charles is adorable. And then, of course, he's got to read it back to us, right, of how much he enjoys being called adorable. So I asked Salk and Morat, like, you've ever been called adorable? Morat or Heather ever call you adorable, Salky?
In 3 lifetimes, Heather wouldn't call me adorable. Nor would anybody else unless they were insulting me.
You know what? Nobody's ever called me adorable.
No kidding. You're not adorable. That's not something you want to be called. Go over to the G and Ursula show. I've got to take a break. We'll come right back.
Are you really hurting?
Yes, I am. Yes. We'll come right back with week 5 of the Seahawks season. Open phone lines a little later. G. Scott, thank you. It's Brock and Salk, Seattle Sports on 710.
Back on February 8th, the countdown started at 167 days.
3, 2, 1.
Right after the clock showed zeros.
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The champs are back on the field tomorrow when Seahawks training camp begins.
We know that we're target number 1 now.
And nobody covers Seahawks training camp like the home of the Super Bowl champs. Seattle Sports.
Do you have a wood deck that could use a little TLC this season? Start by giving it a good cleaning to remove dirt, pollen, or any mold or mildew. Then, if you're left with gray wood and decide you want to restain, use a wood brightener product first. Finally, when you're ready to bring life and color back into your deck, choose Penifin Ultra Premium Red Label Wood Stain. Its highly penetrating Brazilian rosewood oil formula provides superior protection for your wood deck. Penifin Red Label Wood Stain. On sale now at Dunn Lumber.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Hi, Chef John Howie here. For 24 years, my team and I at Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar have called Bellevue home. We serve fresh, locally sourced seafood, farm fresh produce and poultry, and great steaks. At Sea Star, we like to say there's something for everyone, from the carnivore to the pescatarian to the vegetarian. Come see for yourself at Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue. SeaStarRestaurant.com, SeaStarRestaurant.com.
When it comes to your home's water, Culligan makes it better. Say goodbye to hard water, odors, and rusty iron stains. Plus, a Culligan Whole House PFAS system is the only system certified to reduce 99.99% of forever chemicals and over 70 other harmful contaminants. Start with a free water test and let Culligan recommend the right solution for you and your water. Ask about 12-month, no payment, no interest financing too. Visit Culligan.com. Impurities may not be in your water.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. Get a free oil filter and more during the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone, now through July 27th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. It's summertime and the living is easy. If you're like me, you're spending nights on the patio listening to the game and enjoying what makes our area so beautiful. Dave Wyman here, and I have just the offer for you to get the most out of your outdoor living space. $500 off each window, $750 off patio and entry doors, and $200 off the final project. I've loved working with Harley Exteriors. They're a local company right here in Bothell, down-to-earth people who enjoy the same things we all do, rooting on our local teams and doing the best job we possibly can day in and day out. Use Harley Exteriors to complete your home space and receive 12 or 18-month promotional financing.
Qualified buyers only. Subject to credit approval and lender terms. Minimum purchase of 4 qualifying windows required. Windows must be 36 by 36 inches or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to approved credit. Offers cannot be combined with other promotions. Offer expires July 31st, 2026.
Go to HarleyExteriors.com.
A perfect game by a Seattle Mariner. It was done by the King.
50 seasons, 50 legends, one unforgettable night. Join the Mariners Saturday, August 8th for 50 season celebration night at T-Mobile Park, presented by Daktronics.
The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship.
Before the team takes on the Rays, arrive early for the most epic pregame ceremony in Mariners history. You'll witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed. From Griffey to the big unit, from Ichiro to Nelson Cruz, and every legend in between, you don't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime event.
Junior with a 2-run home run. Everybody is going bonkers here in the Kingdom.
Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
My, oh my! Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
Give me a freaking auto!
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Brock and Salk on Seattle Sports.
Brock Eward is my hero.
Jay Buhner just punched me in the kidney.
We're going to accuse you of murder.
Doesn't really work that way, Sherm. This is a show that has my name on it.
It kind of does, though.
Now here are your hosts, Brock Eward and Mike Salk.
Hello! All right, final hour of our week here on the Brock and Salk Show. It means we'll be opening up the phone lines in just 30 minutes. Brock, yes. 866-979-3776. I'm sure that there should be a lot to talk about today as the Seahawks open training camp and the Mariners make a move with their assistant hitting coach and they start a huge series and we're 11 days from the trade deadline. So certainly a lot there. So we'll do that.
Yeah, there's wants and needs, right? There's always wants and needs. I need Mike up in Edmonds with the blanket in the rocking chair and the cat on his lap. I need to hear from Mike. And then I need Janet. I just need her ramblings. I need Janet. Okay. I need her every Friday.
Wow, those are both needs.
Yeah, those are my needs.
Wow, I never would have guessed. All right, well, thank you for your concern about my neck earlier. It seems to be feeling better. The problem with a pinched nerve. Not fun when it acts up on you. But, Brock, we've battled through here like Ben Roethlisberger. I'm doing my high knees in between breaks like Russ. And we're going to continue to go through the Seahawks season. We are covering every game from last year. Mostly because I had forgotten about how a lot of these went, and also because it's fun to celebrate an incredible season. We had one loss off the bat. Today will be just the second to last loss of the season. They only lost 3 games the whole year. It's unbelievable out of 20. One of them was obviously the Niners, and this is week 5. The Sunday loss, 38-35 at home to Tampa. So, by the way, great game.
3-1 Buccaneers, 3-1 Seahawks. Both were red hot.
Both wearing their throwback jerseys. Seahawks wearing the blue, the throwback blues. The Bucs wearing the white version of the creamsicle uniform, which are just awesome. I wish they were wearing the whole orange. It was the day of the playoff baseball game here later that after. So it was just a beautiful, sunny, incredible early fall day in Seattle. It was a great football game. Honestly, it was. They should have won that game. I mean, this team went ultimately 17-3 last year. Should have been 18-2. They should have won this game.
Yeah.
I mean, they should have won.
I mean, it was a
game.
record-setting performance by Sam and Baker.
They were both great.
They made the game look like 7-on-7.
Yeah, they did. But even with all that being said, the Seahawks should have won.
You're 35-28 with 2 minutes to go.
Quarterbacks are throwing deep balls, and both of them are great escape artists in this game, escaping pressure and making great throws on the run. Seahawks special teams, again, Derek Young had 2 really good run backs. He was a bigger factor last year than maybe I had remembered as I was thinking through the year. But I think ultimately 4 things doomed the Seahawks in this game. The first was early, not just in the season, but in this game.
Pistol formation. Darnold from the shotgun. K9 behind him. No, it's Millen.
Milroe.
Jalen Milroe, I beg your pardon, and he tosses the ball back.
Oh, no.
And I think it's a fumble. Oh, my goodness. Well, the ball was on the ground. Let's see if Tampa Bay fell on it. It was Milroe who came in at quarterback, and it is going to go to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
It was Millen. I'm going to blame you.
Well, I don't think you need to do that.
Milroe, Millen, yes.
Yeah,
that was the end of it, right? Was that the end of the experiment?
They might have tried it one more time. I'm not sure. I think that might have been it. That might have been the like, hey, we're not doing this anymore. And, you know, especially when you contrast that with the incredible 341-yard day for Sam. Sam on the day was 28 of 34 for 341 yards and 4 touchdowns. Jalen Milroe came in for that one play and had a fumble. It just became clear like this just is not as athletic and fun as he might be. You're hurting the team by taking Sam off the field. Even if Milroe wasn't hurting the team, you're hurting the team by taking Sam off the field. So
yeah, but kind of in Sam fashion, and even throughout the whole year, Sam fashion, he can be brilliant, but there's just one.
Well, we're going to get to that. Don't worry. 4 things. 1, you give the ball away early, and they made you pay with the Jalen Milroe fumble. 2, the defense gave up a late touchdown drive to tie it up. Like they had a 7-point lead late, and they gave up a legitimate touchdown drive from Baker Mayfield. And, this defense was beat up a little bit. There were a bunch of guys that were hurt.
A lot.
Absolutely.
No Eman Mori, no Spoon, no DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yep.
They were
It was not the full defense that we saw throughout the year, but still, they had a chance to close out that game twice, and they weren't able to do it. And that is absolutely a huge part of why they lost. Third one, Brock, you mentioned it. You get the ball back with about a minute left in a tie game. You got to go win the game. And at the very least, you better make damn sure the other team doesn't win the game. And that's exactly what happened when Sam did this.
2nd down and 1 from his own 32. Charbonnet stays in the backfield, slots on the left side and the right side. Long count. Here comes the rush. Sam gets the ball away and throws it into the middle of the field. And it's intercepted. It's intercepted by Levante David, the inside linebacker. Pressure was coming. Sam tried to fire it in there in between defenders. One too many times. Oh, my word. And that's picked off right in the middle of the field and well within field goal range of their kicker, McDonald. Just the 3rd interception this season for Sam Darnold. And, oh, my gosh, it couldn't have come at a worse time. And
brutal. I mean, just a brutal moment right there.
Hated that call, 2nd and 1. Hated that call. Just get the first down. Hate that call against that coordinator and that head coach, their play caller Bowles, because he's a pressure guy. Sam tried to throw into that pressure, had another outlet on the other side. He said, looking at it again, I made the wrong read and tried to force something too big of a risk, and came back to bite him.
Huge bummer. And then actually just a little insult to injury. They did have a chance to at least hold them to a field goal, get the ball back and try again. 3rd and 7. they give up a running first down to the right side. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
I had forgotten about it, but I saw it. I was just like, that makes you sick. Like, you got an opportunity to make. Hey, look, it's not perfect, but in this NFL where you get the ball at the 35,
because you actually saved your timeouts.
Yes.
Because Mike manages the game so well.
Like, you could have had, if you stop them on 3rd and 7, and they're trying to just, they don't want to throw it incomplete. So they gave you an opportunity. They run the ball. And you give up it was almost like a little toss play to the right. And unfortunately at that point, all I got to do is kick the field goal and you lose. Yeah, Sam, 28 for 34, 341 yards, 4 touchdowns and a pick. 132 more for JSN. He was awesome again. AJ Barner continues to flash every time I watch these games. 7 catches in this one. Maura, you know who's been better in these games than I remembered him? Ken Walker. Got to give you some credit, giving you some props. When I watch these games,
it's like I'm his personal coach or something.
No, you get mad at me when I sort of devalue Ken Walker, and I'm throwing some props your way of like, he was a little bit better than maybe I remember him. I still don't think everyone needs to call him Super Bowl MVP as if he was the MVP, but okay, like he had a lot more to do with last season than I remembered.
He was in the running for MVP of their playoff run, I think.
That's for sure, but he was better earlier in the year than maybe I remembered. Here was Mike McDonald. Talking about A.J. Barner in particular, Brock.
Yeah, AJ's playing at a high level right now. We said this kind of leaving end of last year. I mean, for being a rookie going into his second year, he plays the way that we want our football team to play. He's tough. He's got some swag to him. He doesn't make selfish decisions. He plays to the echo of the whistle. He finishes plays hard. He has his teammates back. He's got a lot of energy on the sideline. Just a lot of positive things,
He became a really big part of that season. Mike also talked about the tackling that day not being up to their standards. I could play that. But the one other one I did want to get to was this, because this is where we were starting to realize that the team was good, right? And you could tell after this game, like Mike was getting mad the same way he was after the Niners game. It's like, geez, he really is frustrated. Why? Well, he'll tell you.
Yeah. You nailed it. That's it.
Oh, let me say, I guess I set it up differently. I had asked him, are you frustrated because you know what this team is capable of?
Yeah. You nailed it. That's it. When you fall short of where you feel like you are, and that's it's tough, So you got to be honest. Like, I think part of our message today is like we got to be honest with each other and evaluating of how we're doing things and who's doing what and what we're doing, all those things. But you're absolutely right. I think that's kind of the the juxtaposition there, where you are optimistic because I think we got great guys and we got great players and we got great coaches, and frustrating that we didn't see the product on yesterday afternoon.
I think the benefit of coming from an organization like he did is he knew what championship-worthy teams were. The Ravens never did it. Lamar, unfortunately, in the playoffs, it just, if we've kind of shrunk or made mistakes or not played to their ceiling in some of those stages. But he knew what like a playoff, legitimate, title contending team looked and felt like. He had some of those in Baltimore. He had it for a year at Michigan when he coordinated that group and won 10 games to beat Ohio State and yada, yada, yada. And I think he knew it a little bit more than everybody else knew it. That's what this exercise is kind of reinforcing to me, that internally it wasn't just like talking it. It was knowing it. It was like, no, this group can be really, really good.
And when we give away a very winnable game in 3 different ways, like they did on that day to Tampa, I'm sure he was frustrated because that's a game that they probably could have and should have won. It all worked out. I'll tell you what, we're going to do this for 3 more weeks. There's only going to be 1 more of these losses to go over. Every other one of these days is going to be about a win, culminating in our little talk about the Super Bowl victory, which will take place right before the first preseason game, Brock, against the Dallas Cowboys. All right, get your calls ready. We will open up the phone lines on Seahawks, Mariners, and more. That's coming up in 20 minutes after one last Everything You Need to Know next.
Seattle Sports, home of Bumpin' Stacy, weekdays 10 to 2.
Safety Nick and Manwari on PUP to begin training camp. One thing I want to say about preseason PUP is it is not the PUP list to miss time during the season.
It could be something real simple. And they're like, all right, he's already in good shape. He's been to all of our stuff. It's not like he's going to get lots of reps during preseason games. I'm hoping it's just being really, really cautious when it comes to Nick and Manwari.
Watch live or later on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Be all in on summer with service from Toyota of Renton and Toyota of Kirkland.
Heading out on a road trip? Make sure your Toyota is ready to go during the Toyota Tires Savings Event. Save $100 on 4 eligible tires. And with an open service drive and no appointment necessary, getting expert Toyota service has never been easier. Whether you're in the north or the south, they've got you covered. ToyotaofRenton.com and ToyotaofKirkland.com. And make sure to check out their service specials page. Offers valid through July 31st, 2026. See dealer for details.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our Summertime Savings Event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Hey everyone, Rick Witters with Cressy Door. At Cressy Door, we offer top-of-the-line garage doors, garage door service, and garage door repairs. Residential or commercial, please consider Cressy Door for all of your garage door needs. Cressy Door.
Every family has a story to tell. At Dunn Lumber, ours is about trust. During the Great Depression, trust was hard to come by. People were so skeptical of banks. Customers would stop by the lumberyard, put their money in an envelope, and leave it in this safe. The safe still stands today as a symbol of our most valuable asset, your trust. If there's ever anything we can do to better earn your trust, email me personally. Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building trust since 1907.
The biggest scuba sale in America ends tomorrow night at Underwater Sports in North Seattle. Incredible savings once each year for just one weekend. Don't miss the biggest scuba sale in America. Underwater Sports, 107th and Aurora Avenue North.
The Boeing Classic welcomes the world's greatest golf legends to the Pacific Northwest, August 14th through the 16th at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge. Watch Masters champions and Golf Hall of Famers compete for a $2.3 million purse at the only PGA Tour champion stop in the region. Bring the whole family and make sure to check out the Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BoeingClassic.com to get yours today.
Longer days, warmer weather, and a stronger you all start at Top Fitness. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and right now, check out the Top Fitness Big Sale in all 3 of their stores. Every category is on sale. Home gyms, weight plates, dumbbells, treadmills, and stair climbers like I've got. Great deals on display models, too. Have a home gym that needs some help? Get your rubber flooring and all the accessories you need. Get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1490. That's 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Need to know.
15 minutes past every hour with Brock and Salk.
Presented by Marquee Data. Here's what you need to know. Up first.
Hi, Brock. I'm ready, man. Training camp. Everybody's reporting physicals, height, weight, all that stuff today. And then tomorrow they are out on the field. Mora will be over there at practice tomorrow. I'm planning to be there on Sunday. And we'll have a full report of everything we see as we get underway on Monday. Should be great, man. I am looking forward to the Seahawks season and all of this exercise going through last year's games just makes me more excited for this one. Just as you think about how much fun football is in general and then add to that how much fun this team is and the level of expectation for them, it's kind of awesome.
And how, as a fan, as you're all around on the berm tomorrow, you look out on the field and you know every player.
Mm-hmm.
Like other than Dante Fowler and obviously some of the rookies, but you've got to know those guys through all of our profiles and reactions and mini camps and OTAs and everything else. Yeah, there's not like, oh, who's that guy? Oh, who's that guy? Who's that? Oh, no, I know this team. I know this roster. They know themselves, and now it's time to put the work in.
One week big question, of course, is just going to be that offensive coordinator spot and that's probably the biggest question there. Mike Golick Jr. yesterday with Bump and Stacy.
You've done a really good job of trying to mitigate some of the difficulties that can come with a change in a loss at coordinator by supplementing the talent on offense and continuing to rely on a defense that's, I think, is going to be great so long as Mike McDonald's there. Not only bringing in this kind of talent, but also applying and teaching it the way that only he can do.
Yeah, I mean, look. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I don't think we ever. Maybe I was out when the news came out too. Golick and Golick.
Yeah,
can be pretty cool.
Back with ESPN. Yeah, it's cool to have Mike
son.
Senior back there at ESPN. And I do have a lot of faith in Mike and the hiring process when it comes to the offensive coordinator. I think he knows what he needs now, and I'm assuming not that he's going to get it right every time. But I'm going to certainly give him the benefit of the doubt and assume he'll get it right this time.
And today is the day that we'll hear about Torrey Horton and A.J. Barner. We were kind of curious, right? We obviously got the early indications with the surgery with Eamon Morey, and then obviously Charbonnet, that was a given, and some of the other guys that have been out, McIntosh. But today would be the day that you kind of, I know I'm going to be refreshing just to see if those two guys can start practice one tomorrow, hitting the ground running. That would be a welcome addition to the offense.
Here's the second thing you need to know.
Huge road trip for the Mariners. Impossible to exaggerate how big this is for this time of year. You've got basically, 9 or 10 games here before the trade
10 games
deadline?
in 10 days, 10 in a row.
And then you're 11 days away from the trade deadline. So it's 4 in Texas. Pitching matchups, Bryce Miller and Mackenzie Gore tonight. Good one. Tomorrow, Brian Wu and Nathan Eovaldi. Good one. Sunday, Logan Gilbert and Jacob deGrom. Good one. Is that a battle of Stetson University guys? Right?
Mm-hmm. They've done that a couple times
I love
already
it.
this year.
And then George Kirby and Kamar Rocker on Monday. Those are great pitching matchups. All
they
four
sure are. They sure are. You better play clean. You better put a crooked number up here or there. Better hit some home runs because they will be pretty highly contested games.
Yesterday was an action day. We've talked about it a lot today that they fired their assistant hitting coach, Bobby Magallanes. Do you think there's any other moves that we will find out today? Or do you think that was it?
I don't know. I've heard our little Leo has been around. He's on the taxi squad, Rivas. So he's been in the clubhouse. He's been around. He's on the taxi squad. If Colt is underwater and let's just say this series just continues to further bury him, unfortunately. We saw them pump the brakes on Cole Young last year when he was overwhelmed later in the year. So could little Leo Rivas
just looking at those numbers for Colt Emerson over the last couple of weeks and just wondering.
Troubling.
I mean, how long can you go? The defense is great. how long can you go with the offense before it starts to just unfortunately eclipse the defense? I don't know whether that time is now, but it's something I'll at least have a watch on today as they put out a lineup and any
I went
roster
to the
moves
dentist
that might be
yesterday.
made. Oh, good. Thank God. Thank God.
Here's the third thing you need to know.
All right, trade deadline coming up, Brock. As you said, 11 days away. We talked to Buster Olney.
Oh, I think they're definitely going to get involved in terms of upgrading the team. Now, it might not be that, unlike last year where they basically landed, when they were sort of felt like they jumped the market a little bit, how aggressive they were on Naylor and Suarez. I think they'll upgrade, but I don't think they're going to go absolutely bonkers. I think they would qualify for going bonkers if they landed Mason Miller. But after talking with different people, sources around baseball, I don't think the Mariners will make that, do that expensive move to get him.
It's too bad. I trust Buster. The guy's got about as many contacts as anyone. I think there's a reason, though, that Passan has brought up Mason Miller's name, and I'm sure there's some back and forth here, right? Oh, we're interested. We're not interested. We'll see where it all ends up, right? I do know that last year they were very interested in Duran. They were very interested in Griffin Jacks. They've really wanted to make that bullpen even better with an elite type of guy. If you got an opportunity to add it, I will not be surprised still if the Mariners find a way to do
and I think, too, as good as they have been in this acquisition phase over the last 3, 4, 5 years, it propelled them with Luis. It nearly got him in the World Series with good vibes and Naylor last year, and were able to extend Naylor because they knew him and he knew them and yada, yada, yada. What's not been great in the last 3, 4 years have been the mid-level relievers. They've just not gotten great bounce.
You saw one of them the other day, Caleb Ferguson.
That's right.
Those guys have been bad.
So do I want a lowercase I reliever? Whatever those metrics, whatever the data, whatever the analytics you've used over the previous years.
I want Jaron Duran or Yohan Duran or Mason Miller, Morahone. Yeah, give me a guy who's real impact. I'll also put a little 2 and 2 together. We got sound of Ken Rosenthal saying that the Mariners, in addition to Luis Castillo, may be open to trading Emerson Hancock. I'll put that together with this from Buster.
There are other moves they can make. I think, for example, Casey Schmidt of the San Francisco Giants, who would be a perfect addition for the Mariners because he's a right-handed hitter. He's versatility. He could fill in different spots. He could play anywhere in the infield, and he started playing some outfield this year. I think they'll definitely at some point add a right-handed hitter.
You start talking about a guy like that, that's where Emerson Hancock makes some sense to me. Two guys who've done it for a short amount of time.
It may be the Cubs. I saw that kind of referenced as well. I think Rosenthal's piece.
I have trouble with that one, too. Emerson Hancock for, say, Suzuki?
Yeah, or who's the other guy, the name we've not mentioned, Shaw? Is it Matt Shaw?
I don't want any part of Matt Shaw, thanks.
Oh, you don't want any part of Matt
Shaw? I don't think anybody does.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, there's some parts on Matt Shaw? Should I look it up on my algorithm or not?
Clubhouse. Yeah.
All right.
There's a reason that's out there. So,
okay.
All right. That's everything you need to know. 1:15 every hour here on the Brock
that
Salk Show. Yeah, I'll do what I can. All right, can we open up the phones, Brock? It is about to be 9:30. It is Friday. The week is almost over, at least for us. 866-979-3776 is the phone number. You want to talk Seahawks on the verge of training camp, which starts today with the first practice tomorrow. Your feelings about this team, about Sam, about Mike, about their chances to repeat, about something you want to see here in training camp, whatever it is. 866-979-3776. Mariners, there's almost too much to discuss. Trade deadline, all these names that have been floated. What gets you going? Is it trying to deal a lot for Mason Miller? Is it something smaller for a Schmidt or a Casey Schmidt or a Taylor Ward or something on the rental market like a Suzuki? What gets you going on the baseball trade market? You heard quite a bit from Buster. Your thoughts on the decision yesterday to relieve Bobby Magallanes of his duties as the assistant hitting coach and what's going to get this team motivated and working and functioning the way they're supposed to on all cylinders. Whatever's on your mind. 866-979-3776. You guys are next. I'm Brock and Salk.
Stick around for Bumpin' Stacy.
Trademark pending. That's right.
Coming up next at 10.
I feel like I've solved a crime.
You did.
Wow.
Your defense, playing like trash, allowed the Seahawks to claw their way back into the game.
When I read about it and I start to break it down, it's about your overall team. And I think that's the way people have to look at it, because there was nothing offensively that felt dominant.
Bump and Stacy, next at 10 on Seattle Sports.
Hey, Mike Salk here. You know it's summertime, that's for sure, which means to me, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. You got to check out some of these upcoming shows. Pop 2000 Tour, Chris Kirkpatrick of NSYNC and Oaktown, Ryan Cabrera, LFO. That's all on August 1st. If you want to relive the 80s, how about pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th? That's a pretty good show, and I'm psyched, of course, for Queensryche in October. Seen them at Snoqualmie before, and they were phenomenal. You can get the full lineup and buy tickets at snocasino.com. And while you're there, book a hotel room, man, for your stay. Make it a whole weekend event. Experience luxury with those breathtaking Cascade views and the world-class dining as well. You can elevate your next getaway all at Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Here in the Pacific Northwest, windows can be one of the best investments you can make to add value to your home. At Dunn Lumber, we have designated Milgard window specialists who have been trained by Milgard to best serve your needs. If you need help finding the right windows for your home, come by one of our 4 Dunn Lumber window showrooms. Or reach out to me personally, Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building success together.
Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are all in on celebrating savings all July long. Lease a 2026 Tacoma SR5 for $327 a month, or spend the summer in a 2026 4Runner SR5, leasing at $387 a month. Both vehicles leased for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Go all in this summer at Toyota, whether you're in the north or the south. Visit them at toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com. Offers valid through August 3rd, 2026 on approved credit through TFS. Excludes taxes, titles, license, dealer accessories, and a $200 negotiable dealer documentation fee.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event is going on now through August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, and equal housing opportunity builder.
Stay cool this summer and save big. Lake Washington Windows and Doors delivers the quality, comfort, and energy-saving performance you deserve. During July, buy 3 windows or doors and get 1 free. Plus, make no payments for 12 months. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy Shannon O'Kelly from IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. So much more than just physical and hand therapy, though, Shannon. You guys, holy smokes, do you have a lot of specialty care?
Yeah, Brock, we do. You know, obviously our nuts and bolts is good old musculoskeletal, but we have a lot of therapists that do advanced certifications in specialty care. And that's important because we can treat the whole population. We can treat your neighborhood. We can treat your family. And those specialty services range from neurovestibular care to dry needling, sports medicine, hand therapy, pelvic floor, vestibular rehab, lymphedema, you name it, we have that service. Again, we're about taking care of the whole family and the whole family's needs.
Remember, IRG, they're in your neighborhood. I'm talking over 40 locations and new additions in Wallingford and the WAC as well, that Washington Athletic Club. You can find them in person. You can find it online at irgpt.com. That is irgpt.com.
Do you have stiff laundry or scale buildup on your sinks and showers? Those are classic signs of hard water. At Culligan, they deliver softer, cleaner water throughout your entire home. A Culligan water softener removes the hardness from your water and extends the life of your appliances. Plus, it can improve the quality of your skin and hair. Ask about 12-month, no payment, no interest financing too. Go to Culligan.com. That's Culligan.com. Contaminants or impurities may not be in your water.
Mariners and Rangers tonight in Texas. 5:05 first pitch, 4 o'clock pregame. Every pitch, every game, one app for free. The Seattle Sports app.
Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host, underwent Swedish CyberKnife treatment for prostate cancer. What's it like to go through the CyberKnife treatment?
You do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital. They say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It was just too easy.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Swedish.org/CyberKnife Prostate.
CyberKnife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Ready to relax, unwind, and feel your best? The Spa Warehouse Summer Savings Expo is on now. Enjoy big savings on in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. Hot tubs start as low as $3,999 with savings up to $3,000 on select models. Score incredible deals on in-stock swim spas. Save up to $7,700. Plus, interest-free financing through 2028 on approved credit. The expo ends July 31st. Don't delay. Your best life starts at the Spa Warehouse.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Brock and Salk.
Weekdays 6 to 10.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We had a little. He forgot the music.
You want me to just jump right in? All right, we'll just come right in. We don't need music to come back in. This is fine.
Sorry.
Jump right in there. All right, you got some good music for us? Do we have our fellow Cootie? It's Friday. It's 9:30. The sun is shining.
Thank you.
There he is. It's fellow Friday.
It's not even Ian we can yell out either.
Oh, it's a creature of habit, Ryan.
That was my bad.
Where's our 5'6" Ian?
You know, Brock, I've kind of gotten away from listening to Phil Cootie on the golf course.
Really?
You know what I've been listening to all summer?
Kenny G.
Nope. It's a Spotify mix.
Yeah.
Vintage Tiki Magic. 100% vintage Hawaiian tunes.
Oh, okay.
Slack key guitar, ukulele, the whole deal. Vintage,
like John Cruz on there, like from the windward to the leeward side.
Maybe I don't think that song is on there, but that type of stuff.
Okay.
And if if there's a little breeze,
my 700-pound man Israel, I can't pronounce the last name.
Yeah,
52 letters long.
I mean, it's that type of stuff. Maybe even old. I mean, it's mostly slacky, but dude, it's so fun. I love it. It's like my favorite thing now.
Kitchen making dinner real nice.
It's mostly instrumental, I would say.
Okay.
It's mostly instrumental. But
are my needs met as you look at the caller ID?
Yes. Well, I think you'll be happy. In fact, we'll make you happy right off the bat. 866-979-3776 with Mike and Edmonds. Yes. Mike, good morning. What's on your mind?
Hello, guys. So I got a couple things. But first, Salk, let me ask you, does the Hawaiian music help your stay relaxed?
That's
keep your blood pressure low?
That is the idea. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. You're in my head. That's exactly the idea. And I will say I've been playing a little bit better golf recently. So yeah, I think it helps me stay relaxed.
Yeah. All right.
And it's not offensive to anybody else you might be playing with.
Just like your rocking chair and your kitty cat on your lap right now.
Here we go. Here we go. God. Okay. All right. I'm throwing the metaphorical blanket off the metaphorical rocking chair. Brock, we got to settle this.
Yeah.
I was figuring out a way to get you off your instigator thing. We got to settle this. Anytime you want to come out to Edmonds, even though I'm 75, I don't run 10 miles that much anymore. You come out here, we'll do the hilliest 10-miler I can figure out anytime you want it. Okay. Come on.
Sounds good.
Let's go. Come on, dude.
I was up in Edmonds the other day for, what's it called? Porch Fest in Edmonds. I walked all through there. It was a lot of fun. Were you there?
Well.
Too old. 75. You can't get out there for that anymore.
My wife thanks to her cancer treatment, has immune problems, so we got to be careful of crowds.
Understand.
That's right.
All right. Well, sorry, I walked right into that one. I was trying to continue down Brock's road, and
Nice, guys.
Yep,
So-
good job, Brock.
So when will you learn?
Never
you
gonna
can't
learn.
Instigate like
Never
me.
gonna learn.
There's only
Nope.
one instigator
I
with
walked-
a capital I,
I
and
walked
that's
right
me.
into that. Walked right into that one,
All
Mike.
right, what's
I
hot,
am
Mike? What's
sorry
hot?
about that.
What do you want?
So-
What do you want,
so-
Mike?
Baseball topics here. What a shame that Brendan Donovan couldn't come back before now. We could evaluate him, see if he's got anything to help this year, but instead, he's still mired in the minor leagues trying to come back. And this Casey Schmidt guy sounds like a Brendan Donovan light. So maybe we got two of the same thing if we go after him, but something feels off in the Mariners team. They just feel off this year. And although I like the idea of going all in, I'm starting to think this is not the year. It just doesn't feel right. I would hate to see them give up a boatload of something for the wrong year. So that, unfortunately, I hate to give that take, but that's kind of what I'm thinking now. I just tired of watching these guys, this year.
So, Mike,
Anyway.
you still run with short shorts and Asics or spot?
No.
No.
No short shorts.
Would you say 75? Maybe he's wearing an athletic supporter like my dad.
No. I got a
it's
story
got the
about
built-in
that.
support. We got the built-in support and was running short Salk.
I got a story about that. But
No, I don't think.
next
No, we
time.
don't have
Next
time for
week.
that one, Mike.
Next
Thank
week,
you.
Mike.
Thank you. No, we're good. There goes
What
Mike.
is wrong with you guys?
Oh, we've talked to Mike
Maura,
for
stop.
forever.
Mike's adorable up there in Edmonds. He's a dear friend.
He's a dear friend.
As we take the next call, can you do me a favor, Salk? Put your Ebenezer's on. You're better at this, and find out what Brendan Donovan's done the last couple
Nothing,
days.
really. Yeah, he's not done much. I don't think he's done much. Let me go to Roger in Tacoma, Brock. I'm bringing
nice.
out all the All-Stars today. Roger, good morning. What's up, man?
What's up, fellas?
How we doing?
So I haven't had a chance to call since Russ made his announcement. But for anybody who does not think Russell Wilson is in the Hall of Fame, get your popcorn ready, okay? Because I'm going to just make a case for him. Brock made a very weak case for him. I'm going to make a much stronger case for him. And I'm going to start off with the fact that for every 10 games he started in the NFL, he won 7. Okay, and I know people think that winning is a team stat. It is absolutely a quarterback stat as well, in my book. And he, especially with Russ, because he did what was necessary to win the game. For his career, he has a 99 passer rating, which is better than every quarterback currently in the Hall of Fame. Okay? For his career, he has a 3.1 touchdown to interception ratio, which is better than every quarterback currently in the Hall of Fame. Okay? Now, in a couple years' time, Tom Brady's going to get inducted, and when that happens, Russell Wilson will still have the best passer rating and the best touchdown to interception ratio of every quarterback in the Hall of Fame. Think about that. Manning, Breeze, Brady, okay, Marino, Elway. Nope, Russell Wilson. Okay? He is the only quarterback in the NFL history with more than 45,000 passing yards and more than 5,000 rushing yards. He and Aaron Rodgers are the only quarterbacks with more than 350 passing touchdowns and 30 rushing touchdowns. Not Steve Young, not Fran Tarkenton, both Hall of Famers.
Were you motivated by his tweet this morning or something? Searching for eternity?
I was not. I've been meaning to call back in because it's just ridiculous that people. If he's going to get held out, he's going to get held out for not what he's done on the field, but how people feel about him in person, which is stupid.
No kidding.
Okay,
but of course that's what's going to happen. Like that's absolutely what's going to happen. But it's going to. Don't you think?
I mean, how many Hall of Fame quarterbacks went elsewhere and looked awful, and they were the ones that forced their way out because they thought they could do better?
Well, let's get to that. Okay, so those years with Hackett, Nat Hackett was the worst coach and the worst play caller in the history of the NFL.
But that's what he
Terrible.
wanted. He wanted someone he could control and be in charge of.
He did, but that doesn't take away from all that he did prior to doing there. Okay, and then with the Sean Payton years, okay, Sean Payton says he wanted to get him out. He's willing to eat all this cap money because this is the year that he had playing for Sean Payton. 26 touchdowns, 8 picks, 98 passer rating, over 3,000 passing yards, over 300 rushing yards, and 3 more rushing touchdowns.
But I guess I would just say that those are all. Hey, Roger, those are all really good points. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with you, certainly not on the numbers. They're factual. I mean, like, you're absolutely right. But it also has to tell you something about the way these things all ended. Whether he put up all those numbers for Sean Payton, and Sean still was desperate to get him out of there. That has to tell you that there's something else going on besides the numbers that is relevant when you are considering who Russ is and his Hall of Fame candidacy. He might eventually get in, and it'll be because of the numbers you just brought up, plus the Super Bowl that he won and nearly a second. But you can't ignore the way his coaches and teammates have talked about him and reacted to him over the years. It's got to be part of it.
It has very little to do with his performance on the field.
But no one is saying it's a Hall of Fame performance. Like, it's the Hall of Fame. It doesn't have that type of definition, does it? It's just the Hall of Fame.
And?
Well, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't have to be just limited.
It's not the Hall of Numbers.
Right.
It's not the Hall of Numbers, and they've tweaked that for Terrell Davis and others whose numbers are not nearly as good as some others. Yeah, it's the Hall of Fame, and it's a co-op, whether you like it or not.
He's certainly famous. If it's just on fame, then Russ will probably get it. Roger, you make a good point. I mean, we're giving you a hard time, but it's a good point, and there's a great debate to be had.
Oh, the numbers are overwhelming.
Absolutely.
There is no debate when it comes to just the numbers.
But God, did he ever screw this up by making it even a debate and a conversation? This should be a no-brainer, easy thing to say.
You burn a bridge with Pete. You burn a bridge with Sean Payton. You burn a bridge with Mike Tomlin.
Right.
You burn a bridge with the Seattle organization.
If he gets in, I don't think it's outrageous. But, like, I'm just trying to think of another NFL quarterback
Brett Favre.
But
Brett Favre left Green Bay and went to Minnesota and then went to the Jets, and it just didn't really work. And, and then obviously off the field made some terrible, awful stuff.
866-979-3776. Matt is in Belfair. Good morning, Matt.
Oh, I like Belfair.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up?
Hey, I wanted to make a quick comment about Bobby Magallanes being let go from the Mariners.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, I don't know if anybody's ever done this before, but the Mariners have a fantasy camp, and I was able to go down there last January, and Bobby Magallanes was one of the coaches down at the fantasy camp. And that guy, he can tell you six different ways to accomplish the same thing. He was a super smart guy, and that guy lived in the cage. As a matter of fact, he didn't even go to half of the meetings. He would just sit there in the cage with anybody that wanted to talk hitting. But one thing he did say was that when he was down in Atlanta, he was telling stories about all the hitters down there with their own private hitting coaches and how there's influences from who they go and work out with in the off season, and then they bring their private hitting coach back to the major league clubhouse, and I don't know if all that's going on at the Mariners.
No,
but
it's going on all over the league, and we've talked about it for a long time. And Buster Olney mentioned it earlier, and Jeff Passon's mentioned it. It's just the facts of baseball today. He didn't get fired because he's not doing a good job of fixing everybody's swing.
He got fired because his offense has been atrocious most of the year.
But is it his offense?
No, but he's the lowest man on the totem pole, and he's the first one that's going to take the bullet. It's not going to be Edgar first. It's not going to be Seitzer first. It's going to be the next guy in line. And this is a shot, I think, over the bow to the players. That one of the really good guys is no longer employed here.
Is it a shot at the players, or is it a shot at Seitzer?
Well, I think he'll be next if they hit two.
That's
if they end the month of
August,
August,
right?
And it's going to be a tough August. You're going to face some tough pitchers starting in Texas and then to L.A. And this whole month of August, here comes the Milwaukee Brewers, and here comes another first place team.
I'm with you all that. You're right. Again, you're right, and they had to do something. But does this feel right to you?
No, of course not.
Okay, because you're kind of arguing like it does. So I was sort of curious.
No, of course not. No, but it is just the nature of the business. It is the nature of the pecking order.
Is this the nature of the business,
though? Of the blame game.
The nature of the business is you fire the assistant, the third in charge hitting coach? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not saying that hasn't happened. I can't think of a lot of cases where that's happened. I've seen you fire the hitting coach and the assistant coach.
Well, maybe this also saw a new world. 10 years ago, you didn't have three hitting coaches.
Absolutely true.
You didn't have Edgar and Seitzer and Bobby. There's one hitting coach.
Absolutely.
Which may also, honestly, be part of the problem. Too many.
Well,
cooks
you're
in the
bringing
kitchen.
somebody else in though from AAA, so I don't
guess.
know. Yeah, I don't know. 866-979-3776.
I got my own personal swing coach. I got an assistant coach. I got the assistant coach. I
A lot
got
of cooks in the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
Jim is in Seattle. Good morning, Jim.
Yeah, a month ago, Jeff Passan mentioned that the Mariners actually have 9 starting pitchers. If you include Logan Evans, who's currently injured. So can we package Logan Evans with Castillo or Hancock to include Mason Miller or Hitter?
Jim's fired up.
Probably not would be my guess. I don't know that, if I had an asset like Mason Miller, I'd be looking to give him up for a pitcher who's injured and who knows what he's going to look like when he
he's
comes
saying
back.
packaged with. He's saying take a George Kirby and you want to sweeten that pot.
Well,
You've got more
he was
supply
saying
than
take an
others.
Emerson Hancock and a Luis Castillo and a Logan Evans. And to that, I think the Padres go, no, thanks, but we'll go get something better from the Yankees.
No, right now they're asking for, and you can read between the lines with Buster, right now they are asking for Cade or Sloan, period. And don't start the conversation, and it's not going to get serious, Jerry and Justin, unless it starts with one of those two guys.
And it can't.
5 days from now, 7 days from now, is maybe A.J. Preller's trying to do the same thing and manufacture leverage in New York or in Philly or whatever, right, with the other huge market teams that are available, and he's trying to leverage all three against each other. And then if it gets to the 11th hour and the Padres lose 7 of their next 10 games, 8 of their next 10 games, and they're out of this thing, and he's looking at it, okay, maybe I do take George Kirby. Maybe having a legitimate, I don't know, number 2 in my rotation for the next 2 years is more valuable to me than Mason Miller is. But this will not happen until the final 24 hours.
No, of course not. He's going to leverage that all the way. 866-979-3776. Let's go to Janet Brock in Linwood.
Nice.
Good
What up,
morning,
Janet. What's going on, Janet?
Hi.
Janet, do you know that there is
Everybody-
amazing well water in Linwood that some of my family members actually go up and bottle some well water out of Linwood? Do you know that?
It's just like in Africa when everybody meets at the water hole.
Yeah.
It's our watering hole. It's the deepest aquifer
There you go.
west of Spokane.
That's what I'm talking about. Sea Salt, you learned
Very
something.
good water. It
Very good
doesn't
water.
have any fluoride or
I sure
chlorine, and
did.
it's good for your arthritis.
All right. Good to
Anyway,
hear.
I was a long-time listener of Dory Monson for many, many years. And I just got hooked on because he's such a great guy, but he's been gone for a long time. But right before he died, you guys took him out fishing, and he got to go fishing. He was going to go up to Camp Malibu, and that never happened. But you guys just take me to a new level because you're both really wonderful parents. And Mike talks about his daughters all the time, just like Dory did. And you guys both like your wife still. And when Mike talks about going and buying his wife a second hot dog, it's just wonderful. And it's just like having my man that's dead back in the house tromping around, just listening to you guys and all your stories and how Mike plays golf with Hawaiian music. And he went up to Canada in the pouring rain for a whole week, and he never complained about it. Because that's what we do. We go up there, and then waterfalls are better. The rivers are better in the rain.
So good. Love it. Are our boys going to turn this around, Janet, these next 10 days? Are our boys on the
deal.
baseball field? Are they gonna
Every
turn it
time we
around?
go and we trade somebody away like Williamson, it just kills me because it comes back to bite us. And this guy that we just let go, it's going to come back and bite us some way. Just like the Seahawks, all of our good guys get poached out,
You mean
and then they come
hitting
back
coach?
to get us.
Yeah, she didn't like Bobby.
Yeah, that's fair. I get it. Hey, just
I
did want to
think
ask
that
you,
he-
Janet, because it's on our list here. Did you have something about the Trident you wanted to say?
Yes, the Trident.
Yes.
I think that the Trident got stolen
Okay.
when we were, because Shannon saw it in some closet, and then it was gone for 2 days.
Yep.
And then they have a different one, and it seems lighter. It doesn't seem like it's 40 pounds anymore, which is probably better for everybody's arms, not to be lifting up a big, huge 40-pound Trident.
Well, they
at
don't have to
everybody.
lift it very often anyway. They're barely hitting any home runs. So maybe they could go back to a heavier Trident when it's all said and done.
That's a good point, Janet. That is a good point.
All right. Well, there was some.
Janet brings me to buy youth salt.
Does she?
She does.
There's
'cause
some
we had-
I feel like there was some misinformation in
You
there.
never bought Heather a second hot dog?
No, that was Cecil. That was my daughter.
Oh, it was Cecil.
That was my
Okay.
daughter.
That's okay.
I don't think I was with you to take Dory out to eat, but that's all right.
She was right with you up in the rain and me taking Dory out fishing. Yeah, she
Let
was
me
right
go
on
to
all that.
Dan in Missoula. Good morning, Dan.
I like Dan in Missoula
Hey,
too.
good morning, guys.
long time listener.
Dan, what's the town you pull off on when you're coming on I-90 to get the Huckleberry milkshake? What town is that?
I just went fishing there 2 days ago, St. Regis. You follow the St. Regis River over Lookout. And,
we're running out of time here. What do you got there, Dan? Brock, come on.
Here we go. I'm going all the way back to Cal versus Randy. I have a problem there with Jerry DiPoto for not dealing with it. When a guy comes out, and I agree with what you said yesterday, Mike, people not liking you. When someone comes out and says, F him, F his family, F everything to do about him, and they let that go on and simmer, I think that has hurt the team. Randy would have been gone if I was the GM, and I could go on and on.
So hold on. Let me ask you a question, Dan. Let me ask you a question, because I tend to agree with some of that. So let me ask you a question. What if the team didn't think that Randy was at fault? What if the team thought it was a 50-50 thing? Then what? What do you do then?
If you have a problem, you get rid of Randy. You don't get rid of Cal.
So you just do. So even if you think Cal,
hold on just a second.
Even if you think Cal's at fault, you say whatever. He's the guy. We've committed to him long term. We'll trade Randy.
Yep, especially when he's going to be leaving us anyways.
And Salk, by the way, there can't be a soul over there that thought Randy's reaction was worthy of Cal's action. There can't be anybody.
I'm not saying there was. I'm just trying to understand. Right. I don't necessarily think so, but I know that there are people in that building who think that Cal should have just shaken his hand, like that Cal started the whole damn thing. I know that. I know there are people in the building that feel that way. So if they did, they're not going to turn around and be like, ship Randy out of town. By the way, Randy's been a whole lot better than Cal has this year. I understand the point. I've kind of made the same point. I think that incident is absolutely enormously important in what has happened to the Mariners so far this year.
You're going to point to the if Buster's going to point back to the WBC.
I'd point to this more than that. I'd point to this more than I didn't get enough at bats 4 months ago.
Or Salk, it's really like Italy. I mean, Italy is all about lasagna. It's all about stacking. When you go to Italy, you see it, right? The history is all stacked on each other. They'd say it's like lasagna.
Yes.
And it's the same thing, unfortunately, whether it was the WBC that started it, then the Randy incident, and then the boatload of injuries, and then.
Well, and that's why but I also think that if the incident between Randy and Cal is this big of a deal, there was something brewing already there. I don't believe that single thing
also hard to
imagine.
Into
a huge
totally agree on all that. Yeah, Maura,
this was your strongest.
Yeah, what's up with that?
The phone time. Seriously,
Russ gets me fired up.
Yes,
and you really got the most out of Janet. I feel like this week.
Thank you.
Really,
I think that was Brock.
Really got the most out of. Really maximized our.
You didn't even know there was an aquifer in Linwood.
All right, last person will be Brock Wydell in Spokane. Okay. I know you love Wydell. Wydell, you get the last word. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Yeah, just looking forward to the season coming up with the Seahawks. Just posing the question, who do you think, as far as the veterans go, both offensively and defensively, will have the biggest jump in production from last season?
Rashid
Maybe
Shaheed.
even who you're hoping for.
Yeah, I think Rashid Shaheed offensively. I think you look at Brian Fleury's background and all the years he spent with Kyle Shanahan and all the matchups they try to create with their different talents and different people, and the fact that he's just been there since March, April with Sam, unlike midseason, I'm looking for a significant bounce in production.
Riley Mills? I mean, it doesn't really. I mean, both things are sort of unfair because they didn't play much last year, but. All right, I'll give you one that's just a little bit more like somebody who's here all of last year.
Mm-hmm.
The guy they paid.
Derek Hall.
Derek Hall? More sacks this year.
Yep.
Doubles his sack total from last year.
2
How
to
about
4.
that? Was that what it was?
I think so.
See? Easy prediction. All right, we got to go. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy. We'll be back talking tons of Seahawks on Monday. Hopefully the Mariners can win a couple games here and get themselves going in the weekend in Texas. We'll see you guys Monday morning at 6 a.m. And until then, hey.
Big weekend, man. What a big weekend in the barn.
Get to the chopper! Stick around for Bump and Stacy.
Trademark pending. That's right.
Coming up next at 10.
I feel like I'd solved a crime.
You did.
Wow.
Your defense, playing like trash, allowed the Seahawks to claw their way back into the game.
When I read about it and I start to break it down, it's about your overall team. And I think that's the way people have to look at it, because there was nothing offensively that felt dominant.
Bump and Stacy next at 10 on Seattle Sports.
When it comes to my policy, Farmers gives it to me straight, so there's no surprises.
It's your coverage. You should never be confused.
You hear that? An insurance provider with a conscience.
We're a choir, but yes, we have that too.
Straightforward coverage you can literally understand. That's what you get when
you have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Toyota of Kirkland and Toyota of Renton are all in on celebrating savings all July long. Lease a 2026 Tacoma SR5 for $327 a month or spend the summer in a 2026 4Runner SR5 leasing at $387 a month. Both vehicles leased for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. Go all in this summer at Toyota, whether you're in the north or the south. Visit them at toyotaofkirkland.com and toyotaofrenton.com. Offers valid through August 3rd, 2026 on approved credit through TFS. Excludes taxes, titles, license, dealer accessories, and a $200 negotiable dealer documentation fee.
What if I told you a local credit union is giving members up to $30 per month just to make everyday purchases? Dave Wyman here, and when I heard about the offer from Harborstone Credit Union, I said, sign me up. And that's what I did at harborstone.com/cash. You know, I'm not a tech-savvy guy, but opening a checking account was easy enough for me to figure out. I got my PNW Cashback checking account for free, no fees or minimums, and when I make everyday purchases with my Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card, I earn up to $30 each month. My wife loves it when I get cash back on gas, groceries, coffee, travel, and lunch. All categories count towards your cash back. You can even tap to pay. If you live, work, or worship in the state of Washington, sign up for a membership with Harborstone Credit Union and get the PNW Cashback free checking account. Open your free account online like I did at harborstone.com/cash or visit one of their 29 branches across the Northwest.
Insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Summer is for going big.
Julio! Dead center field, solo home run, 4-0 Mariners.
Summer is for showing out.
Crawford, out of the glove, Emerson to first. What a play!
Summer is for Mariners baseball.
Cal Raleigh with an RBI double. The big dumper comes through in the clutch.
Where else do you get 9 innings of eye-popping swings and snags? Plus fireworks that make your feet dance and your jaw drop. Oh yeah, and the guys have a dance of their own. A wind dance.
Party time at T-Mobile Park in the sunshine.
Mariners baseball. Tridents up.
On July 31st, the Mariners kick off a 9-game homestand at T-Mobile Park. And the fun gets started with 50 Seasons Fireworks Night presented by T-Mobile on Friday the 31st. Plus, don't miss epic giveaways like Aloha shirts on Saturday